What you doing down there, D? Looking for a dump spot? Yep. Yep. Looking for a dump spot.
I texted her, so she's got my number. So, are you on your stream?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
I can mute it.
Oh, no.
Get your butts in. Get your butts in. Stream is muted, I know. Not anymore, though. Stream is unmuted now. Now you can hear what I have to say to you. You sons of bitches. I fell asleep during the late stream. Oh, word. I hear you. Our late stream was crazy. Man, whoa. Crazy. Deranged. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. You know, you're not gonna miss much. You're not gonna miss much at all, Femboy. It was just me arguing with stupid people for about half an hour, and then I was like, nah. It's my opinion, dude. My opinion on the Charlie Kirk incident has been stated 15 times. We just ain't gonna do it again today. You can go watch other fucking things on this channel. Go watch my main podcast. Go watch anything. My ass has been all over the internet talking about it. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. No, no, I can't put that. I can't put on any songs. Any horror recommendations for you to watch today? Heretic. Watch Heretic if you haven't seen it. That's a really good horror movie. Smile 1 and 2 are both pretty good. I liked those. What's other horror that I've seen recently? Sinners, if you haven't seen it. I haven't seen Weapons yet. I've heard it's a mixed bag, which is the truth for Barbarian as well. That Barbarian movie was a mixed bag for me. It was like, oh, this is good. Oh, what the fuck? How's the visit with your family? Well, today's the last day that they're here, the last full day. They're leaving out tomorrow. And it's been great. It's been wonderful. Yeah, I like having, like I said, all my life, I'm 45. Until this year, not one member of my family had ever visited me and come and stayed with me. Not one. In all the years that I've been on my own, I've been on my own since I was 18, not one family member of mine has ever come to visit me and stayed with me in my area for a few times. It's always been me going back home, me going back to where I was raised. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But it's cool because now my mom knows what I'm like, how I'm living, where I'm living. And I know that that helps her. You know, she doesn't like being far away from me. And so, Paul, it's a Third Reich hairdo. Really? Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I think it's a nice hairdo, so I keep it this way. We don't. I don't watch. I watch crows. We have crows. I just don't take care of them. I live in the forest, and so I let the forest take care of them. The forest takes care of the crows. I just watch them. You're a fat pig. Cool. Me too. Suey. Friends call you fat? Mine too, man. My friends call me fat all day long. Calgary, Alberta. I lived the first 8 years of my life in the bush up in northern Alberta on Crown land. Okay. Yeah, I'm right across the border from Canada. I've never been to Canada though, but I live near Vancouver, BC. Like about an hour and change.
Your mom's thinking about making chorizo and eggs. Do you think you'd want
I
some?
don't want that.
You don't
that.
want it?
I don't
think you'd
want that.
It anytime soon?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Yeah, chorizo's not my shit. I can't eat chorizo. It's got salivary glands in it, okay? I can't. Textural, I'm grossed out. I'm grossed out by chorizo. I know it tastes good and everything, but I can't eat it. I can't eat it. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Yeah, I met El Cucuy out here, and well, I didn't meet him, but I heard him. El Cucuy. He lives out here in these woods, and he made a noise over there, in that area over there, straight over there. Well, me and my wife heard it late at night. It was no animal I've ever heard. I don't think you've ever had chorizo. I mean, it tastes pretty good, but I can't eat it. The Blumhouse horror documentary series? Okay. I'll check it out. Owl still around? Yeah, I heard the owl a couple of days ago. They range super far. The owl was home a couple of days ago, later in the night. Parents didn't get to hear him, though. Ever heard of Mel's Hole, an urban legend? Where you're at that was on Coast to Coast? No, I've never heard of Mel's Hole. Does your mom still see the bird named Rocky? Nope. Rocky flew away, and I don't think she's seen him in a couple of years now. He's off. You know, she raised him up, and now he's off being a bird, being a mockingbird. You know. Oh yeah, an owl as a pet would be wild. I wouldn't want to have an owl as a pet because they're just so majestic and they're meant to hunt, man. You have any other social media? I'm Paul Zigo everywhere, man. At Paul Zigo on X, at Paul Zigo on Discord, at Paul Zigo on Reddit. That's me. Two barn owls that live in my barn. Oh yeah, they're great. Yo, Paul, I messaged you in Super Chat like 5 years ago about getting out of rehab. Sobriety didn't last for me. And shit got real for me. Things drastically different today. 2 years, 3 months. Just wanted you to know you're awesome and thank you. Yeah, bud. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that you're doing better, bro. That's good. That's good. When am I giving up the smokes? I'd love to. I'd love to. But they're like a security blanket for me. I gotta have them. See Trump blow off all the Charlie Kirk topic. Yeah. What do you think about Charlie Kirk? It's horrible. By the way, did you see the new ballroom? Can you do a kickflip? Hell yeah, I can. I could do a Z flip. I could do a kick flip. I could do a heel flip. You know what I mean? I'm a skater, bro. No, I'm kidding. I can't do none of that shit. I'd break my ankle immediately. I'll be right back. Oh, eggs coming. Look out. Here come the eggs. Hisses get kisses. It's true. Can be as hissy as you want. Look, this chicken was clucking. Now
Yep.
this one.
Oh boy.
They set each other off.
Yep.
It's like this one back here was like, here comes an egg. And then this one's over here is like, here comes an egg too. Where's everyone during the week? Can't find English speaking people. It's hard to find. So I'll wait till you get my question. I'll be back. You should see my question. Your question. Your question. I don't see your question, friendo. You might have to ask your question again because I don't see it, bro. Yeah, I've heard that joke that somebody that was funny made up and that everybody is repeating now, which is in the end, Charlie Kirk finally leaned left. That is a dark joke, and somebody really funny and really fucked up made it. But the fact that the whole internet is passing it around, it's kind of cringe. It's kind of cringe. I gotta be honest with you because it's like the 15th time I've heard the joke. And cringe lords are still like throwing it out there, trying to make people giggle with it. And it's real cringy. It's TJ at the meetup if y'all could do a K-pop gauntlet. And he told me, hell no, no. I don't know anything about it and I don't care about it. So what am I supposed to make a video about it? Ugh. I mean, it is a little bit darkly funny, but it gets less funny every time a retard tells it wrong. It's supposed to be, in the end, Charlie Kirk leaned left. That's supposed to be how you say it. But people will go like, Charlie Kirk leaned left. And it's like, dude, you're fucking up the joke. You're recycling the joke to the point where it's not even funny anymore. Just shut up. You're not clever. You're not interesting. And that's that. How's someone dying funny? So there's this thing. It's called black humor or gallows humor. And it's how people deal with tragic situations. We create these kind of darkly comic jokes in order to deal with death, tragedy, and our own personal like finite nature. Like we eventually all die. We see somebody die horribly and quickly, and people deal with it in different ways. And a lot of people get this dark comic humor. No, the joke is just as simple as that, Mohammed. And you explaining it again isn't going to make it not the 20th time I've heard it. You get it? I saw the joke that day. I saw the joke on the 10th. While we didn't even know if Charlie was alive or not yet. They hadn't even announced he was dead yet, and I saw the joke. So you're like 3 days late and $1 short with the joke. It's not, you're still doing fucking raffle mayo emojis because you're so pleased as punch with yourself. But really all you've done is recycled some other dude's clever comment 90 billion fucking times. You get it? You shouldn't feel proud of that. And you damn sure shouldn't still be laughing at it after 20 fucking times you've heard it. You see what I mean? But I mean, you kids got no frame of reference. Skibbities have found your comments. Oh, yeah, they have. Yeah. Yeah, the darker things get, the more you hear people making jokes. That is absolutely true. Comedians are a huge part of how nations and the world processes tragedy, right? That's how it works. So that's why you're hearing darkly comic jokes. But the internet turns it into, you know, like that last dude in here. His name was Muhammad, and he was repeating it over and over again, and then just laughing at himself. And it's like people just like he just made it up or something. You know what I mean? And everybody that comes in here, you guys will see it again. I can almost guarantee you before this is over, somebody else will come in thinking they're clever with that shit. And it's like, whoever came up with that shit came up with it 10, 15 minutes after Charlie Kirk died. So...
Remember the Gottfried joke with the tsunami?
Mm-hmm. He got banned from Aflac because of it. I don't remember what it was. Well, he made a bunch of them. He made a bunch of inadvisable jokes. Someone pointed out to me that since pretty much everyone online saw the shooting video, we all went through a collective trauma response. Yes, that's what happens. It's like 9/11, right? 9/11 traumatized everybody in this country. The Charlie Kirk video is one of the gangliest assassination videos I've ever seen in my life. And so, yeah, it's a tragedy and it's a trauma. And the country is now dealing with it. And, you know, that's the way it works. And one of the way people deal with it is to make darkly comic jokes and repeat them all over the internet. I just don't like... I've always had a problem with people that are not clever taking somebody else's cleverness and trying to own it. It's like days later, that joke has been all over the internet, and some dude's rolling through my chat, throwing it up like it's his. It just bothers me.
That's what Gottfried said. Japan's really advanced. They don't go to the beach comes to them.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a bunch of those. Yeah, I mean, you got to think of the whole context. I don't think he should have died. I'm not broken up about it because I didn't know him personally. But what I did know is that he spoke his mind, and that's why he was killed. From what we can tell, he was killed to send a message while he was doing what he does, and that's not cool. Yep, he's more powerful now, and he will be they're going to talk about him for 100 years. He's more powerful now than he ever was as a fucking dork traveling around and debating people. He's way more powerful now. What are you supposed to do, you know? He's a symbol now. It's not even like a person anymore. Now he's a symbol. No. 5 years tops? Nope. Nope. They're going to be using that. They're going to be using Charlie Kirk's death. When I say they, I mean Republicans. They're going to be using it forever. You won't live it down. You'll be hearing about Charlie Kirk as an old man. Nobody gets blown away like that in public, politically, here in this country, and then it just disappears. Conservatives are comparing him to MLK. Well, he was killed for the same reasons. That's why. MLK was a civil rights leader, a non-politician, but a political speaker, and he was killed for that. So that's why they're making the comparison. He's bigger than MLK. I don't know about that. How do you know why Kirk was killed? I'm making assumptions based on the venue. If somebody just wanted Kirk dead, there was probably way better ways of doing that. This person killed Charlie Kirk publicly to send a message, and killed Charlie Kirk while he was engaged in freedom of speech and freedom of expression and association. So that's why I say that he was killed for speech. Because, like I said, they got the right person? I don't know. I don't know. Right? I'm not a cop. I'm not in the FBI. I'm not the person to ask that question, right? It seems like they got the right guy, but who knows? Groiper, yeah. I've heard that. I don't know. America's been in chaos. Are you paying attention? Have you paid attention to the last like 12 years of American history? America's been in chaos. What do you think of his trans roommate? I don't. Like, what do you think of it? Paul, in your honest opinion, is there any chance the left and right come together? Nope. Not anymore. Sure you're not an FBI informant? I'm sure. I think his trans roommate was the mastermind. Okay. Got anything to go on with that? Has his trans roommate been arrested? If the answer is no, then it wasn't the mastermind. Got it? So any other wild fucking theories that you pulled right up out your asshole? I know you want that. I know you guys want that. I know you want him to be some crazy blue hair, but the more they look into him, it's looking like he was one of these internet kids. One of these right-wing nationalist internet kids. Nick Fuentes fan, blah, 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 blah. So I know you guys want it. I know you guys want this to be a hardcore blue hair leftist. I know you guys want that. I know you want it. Some of you are desperate for it. Right wing with a trans boyfriend. Yeah. Do you know that Republican areas, if you look at the most popular search terms way down south, do you know what it is? I'll let you guys guess. Most popular search terms in the deep south, deep red territory. You guys know what it is for porn? Anybody want to guess? There's gonna be some guesses. T-girl, chicks with dicks, trans porn. Chicks with dicks. So this idea that a right-winger had a secret trans girlfriend sounds about right to me. You can look it up, Rune Zebra. You ain't got to take my word for it. Go look. What are the most popular porn search terms in the South? Chicks with dicks. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Seems like you Republicans doth protest too much. Seems like you doth protest too much. Methinks the lady doth protest too much. You guys are boned up for trans people down there. Out west, we search different shit, bro. But down south, there's one search term to rule them all. What do you mean by the South? I mean the deep red South. I mean Mississippi. I mean Louisiana. I mean Texas. I mean Missouri. I mean Tennessee. I mean all these deep red Christian places. And you look at the most popular porn terms down that way, and you know what the one that floats to the very top is, Sonny? Chicks with dicks. I wonder what that's about. What is that all about? Can you guys down south tell me what that's about? You guys tell me about that? Chicks with dicks. What's that all about, y'all? What's that all about? You guys hate them so much. You guys are so against trans people. Why do you want to watch them fuck? You ever think about that? Chicks with dicks. What's that about? You guys are so anti-trans, but you like watching a chick pull her panties down and whip out a big fat cock. What's that about? This guy's regarded? Am I? You want to do a Google search real quick and see if I'm regarded? Chicks with dicks. Uh-oh, don't bother me. Uh-oh. Chicks with dicks. Let me get the lotion out. Chicks with dicks. They're in denial. They're all gay. They all want to get booty blasted by a chick with a dick. But then they go out in public to make people think they don't want that. They go, I hate these trannies. I hate these trannies. These trannies are ruining the world. And as soon as they're alone and at home and the wife's in bed, chicks with dicks. Oh! Get it? Who? The whole South. Most popular porn search terms down south. Chicks with dicks. Hear it? Ruh-rohs. Ruh-rohs. Uh-oh. Somebody's a hypocrite. Somebody goes, we hate trannies. And then as soon as they're alone, chicks with dicks. Where you at? Where you at, Southerners? You want me to pull it up? Do I need to pull it up? So this idea that because this dude might have had a trans girlfriend, he ain't right wing. Starting to look a little different, huh? Mm-hmm. They hate themselves. They hate that they want dick. They hate that nothing gets them harder than a big fat cock. So they fight against it. Oh, we hate trannies. We hate faggots. And as soon as they're alone, bro, soon as they're alone and it's dark and late, trannies, oh God, I'm gonna. Fucked up. Fucked up. Pure facts. You don't even, like, this ain't even my opinion, bro. This ain't even my opinion, bro. This shit is just facts. It's pure, unadulterated facts. I bet Charlie Kirk watched trans porn. What do you want to think? I bet when Charlie Kirk, when it's late at night, wife's tired, crawls up under the sheets. Let's see Charlie Kirk's search terms. Can we get that? We might want to look at it. Might be relevant. I bet Charlie Kirk liked a chick with a dick. What do you think? Projecting? Go Google most popular porn search terms in the Deep South and tell me what you see. Might want to see what he was searching. You know what I'm talking about? Might want to see what he was searching. That's all I'm talking about, bro. Might want to see. Because that might have a clue in it. So we better release that pronto. What do you guys think? You're sick, man? You're going to want to put a Y-O-U apostrophe R-E there, retard. Your is a possessive. That means that's my sick, your dog, your cat, your house. You get it? People learn that in the 3rd grade, player. What's your excuse? People learn that shit in the 3rd grade. The difference between your and your. But for some reason, we need Charlie's laptop. Yeah, we need them search histories, bro. We need 100% of them search histories. How'd you end up with this crowd of morons? Oh, they're out. Yeah. According to 2024, the most popular categories in the United States were lesbian, ebony, MILF, and teen. That's the United States broadly. Go look at the South. Go see what the most popular search terms are just by the South. Because broadly in the United States, I think you're right. But the South, they have a little bit of different taste down there. They like a certain kind of porn down there. And I think if you search for it, You'll find it. You'll find what kind of porn that they specifically like down there. Specifically. And I'm wondering why they're so against it, but they're so for it. It's just interesting. It's interesting. Southern California is kind of gay. Well, by the search terms, not quite as gay as the Deep South. Yeah. The Deep South likes to see big dicks on chicks. Chicks with big dicks. They love it down there. They want a feminine looking woman to pull her panties down and whip out a big old dong. Wonder what that's about. The South only rises for T-girls. That's what makes the South rise. The South will rise again tonight at 2 a.m. once the fucking wife's asleep. The South is going to rise. Yeah, the South rises for T-girls, bro. Chicks with dicks. They love it. They love it. Walked into that one. Yeah, you sure did. Okay, so what's the point? The point is you guys need to just admit who you are down there. Quit trying to hate on gay people when you guys are in your fucking rooms alone at night looking at gay porn, looking at trans porn. Quit pretending. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Just quit pretending. Just own who you are down there. You guys like booty blasting down there. You guys want to be ridden hard and put away wet by a big dick femboy. You get it? All you got to do is just say it. Just say it. It'll feel nice. You live your truth for the first time in your life. Just come out and say it. I want a big fat dick up my ass. I'm a cowboy. I drive an F-250 with dualies on the back, and I want a big dick up my ass. Just say it. Just say it. I wear cowboy boots everywhere, but I want a big fat cock up my ass. Just say it. You'll feel better. You will. You get to learn and live your truth. But as long as you guys pretend you hate trans people, and then at 2 a.m. when the wifey's asleep, you're in there going, give me the trannies. Bro, nobody takes you seriously down there, bro. We know what you're looking for. We can look at the search terms. We know what you guys are about. Big, veiny dick. But you pretend to be big, strong men down there. We're Christian. I'm a Christian man. I got 2 kids. Everybody asleep. Trannies. You're kind of weird. You know who's weird? Southerners. Southerners who think trans people are ruining everything and then they're beating their meat to them. You get it? This guy's in the South? No, this guy's in the Pacific Northwest. This guy lives in Washington State on the northwest part of the Puget Sound, right on the water and in the woods. That's where this guy lives. This dude has lived in the South. Side chat is wild today. Yeah, it is. What's up, Sig Rat? Oh, yeah, Pornhub does a public service. They let everybody know what regions like what kind of porn. And that's South down there? Oh, they love gay porn down there, bro. Big black dicks. So you're projecting? You could think that. Or you, Robert from Michigan, you could go and search most popular search terms by region. You could tell me what they are from the South. Could you do that for me, Robert? Because when somebody says I'm projecting, I like them to go figure out that I'm not. So could you go look at the most popular porn search terms in the South and read them for me? Or else who's projecting? You want to read them for me? Anybody? You are projecting? You want to do it, Great White Charlie? You want to do it? You want to check out what the most popular pornography is down south? Lesbians and ebony. That's what you want it to be. That's what you want it to be. Why don't we go take a look? Pornhub. Hub. Most popular terms south. Yeah, we go. Let's take a look. All right. U.S. cities. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Queef? Queef? You guys search queef? What have we been watching? What have we been watching down south? What have we been watching down south? U.S. The incestuals and weird Brits like Charlie are out here in Mass. Here we go. Data finds Republicans are obsessed with searching for transgender porn. This is from 2022, the last that they have that. More than 300 anti-LGBT bills have been proposed across 36 states. This surge, especially in anti-trans legislation from Republicans, stands in stark contrast to the startling fact Republicans love transgender porn a lot. With more than 4.7 million transgender porn-related searches each month, Republicans represent those searching the most for trans porn? The answer, unequivocally, yes. In fact, the more Republican they are, the more they seem to like it. To understand Republicans' love for trans porn, we scraped daily Google search trend data from June 1st, 2022 to June 19th, 2022, segmented by DMA, that's metro area, and compared search volume to both 2020 election voting trends and public opinions on LGBT rights. The data tells a tragic tale of self-loathing closet cases, Republicans who privately get off sexually to trans folks while publicly trying to remove trans people's rights and stoking hate against them. Let's get into it. The map visualizations below show the popularity. Here, let me show you this. Here we go. This is femboy search. So obviously you guys know how these maps work, right? So here is... Oh, this is meant, okay. Let me try and get it big. So here's just the South, and you can see, like a Christmas tree, deep red, orange, all through the South. Isn't that weird? So let's go back. So, top 20 most transgender porn obsessed states and metro areas. Are you guys ready? What do you guys think the number one is? You'd probably guess California, wouldn't you? That's the West Coast, you think? Let's take a look, shall we? Because the numbers are in. I'm going to read them from top to bottom. The number one trans porn state in the nation. The eyes of Texas are upon you. From then you shall not stray. Texas. What's next? California, you think? Washington? Georgia? Georgia. We love some trans porn when we're alone in our rooms. The trans girls are on the screen. Trans girls on the screen. You guys want to know what the next one is? That's 1 and 2. Texas and Georgia. What's the next one? Surely California. Surely Washington or Oregon. I said Georgia. It has to be. 3 has to be California. It has to be. Right? No, it's Kentucky. Kentucky loves a chick with a dick. They search for it way more than anybody else searches for it. You want to know who's fourth? You want to know who's fourth? You'll know this one, Phoebes. Your home state, Phoebes, is fourth for trans porn searches. Anybody want to know? Anybody know where Phoebes is from? Good old Missouri. Nope. You're living in Missouri, right? I thought you were in Missouri. No, Mississippi ain't on there yet. Not Mississippi yet, but we're still going. You guys ready? You guys ready? So we got, here's the top four so far. We got Texas. They love them some trans porn. Georgia, Kentucky, Missouri. What's five? Kansas. Kansas. What's next? Virginia. Good old Virginia. Loves them a chick with a dick. North Carolina. Loves a chick with a dick. Get it up in there. I love it. Illinois. That one's a little Midwest, isn't it? But right after Illinois, number 9, Mississippi. Mississippi loves its trans porn. Top 10. So out of the top 10 states, top 10 states that search trans porn the most, 9 out of 10 are southern states. And only one state isn't, and that's Iowa. That's a Midwest state. Anybody want to argue now? What are you guys watching late at night down there in the South? What are you Texans down there searching? Trans porn, trans porn, trans porn, trans porn, trans porn. Trans porn is more popular in the South than it is anywhere else in the States. Isn't that crazy? Cali, let me ask where Cali shows up if it does. I'm going to read them all from the top. Texas, Georgia, Kentucky, Missouri, Kansas, Virginia, North Carolina, Illinois, Mississippi, Tennessee, Ohio, Indiana, Arkansas, Iowa, Louisiana, Michigan, Oklahoma, Alabama, Florida, and Pennsylvania. That's the top 20. Where's California? Where's the West Coast? Where's New York City? Where's it at, y'all? If y'all hate it so much down there, why are you watching it at 2 a.m.? Anybody got any ideas for me? I'm not a Southerner, so I can't help you with that. I'm not a Southerner, so I can't help you with that. I was born in California, you see? But down there in the South, you guys like, shut up. I ain't gonna shut up, kid. You can look up the data yourself, though. You want to see a heat map again? I'll show you a heat map. You want to see? You want to see how deep ruby red the South is? Anybody? Anybody? I'll keep reading because they do metro area. You want to do metro? Well, the maps and ranking makes it obvious that there's a correlation between conservatism and searching transgender porn. Plotting linear regression trend lines, we better understand the strength of the correlation. In these views, we look at the search volume for 3 different keyword groups versus metro area, political leaning. Each dot represents a metro area. Dots are colored with their ratio of Democratic versus Republican votes in 2020. Higher value, more red, the higher percentage of metro area voted for Trump. Below, you can find the linear regression test values. While this test has low R-squared values, our p-values show that even this noisy, high variability data can have a significant trend. So let's see. Thus, there's a statistically significant correlation between being more Republican and trans porn search volume. Here are the 3 most popular trans porn searches down south. You guys ready? In order. Number 1, she-male. Number 2, tranny. And number 3, femboy. The more you hate them, the more you love them. While political leaning is an interesting way to understand the trends in the data, we wanted to better compare search volume data with more direct local estimations of prejudice. So there you go. You can look that up. You can find that. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Can I fill you in on the South anymore? Can I fill you in on the South some more? What's that about? Why you guys search for tranny? Why you guys search she-male so much down there in Texas? You hate the trans people so much. Why Tennessee searching she-male so much? What's that? What's going on down there? Can you guys explain it? Oh yeah, direct correlation with church density too. There's more churches per capita in the area that I showed you anywhere else in the United States. But for some reason, even with all them churches and all that good heartfelt Christianity, it's trans porn. Trans, femboy, trans. What's that about? Y'all Southerners want to explain that one to me? Y'all Southerners, can you explain that to me? That's not a poll, sir. That's Google search data, sir. A poll is self-reporting. That's not a poll. That's Google search data. Okay? That means they're sitting down and they're typing in femboy. Typing in tranny. Typing in she-male. Late at night. It's okay, they prayed for forgiveness. Yeah, then Saturday night, they fist their dick. Sunday, they go into church and go like, Lord, please cleanse me of this sin. Burn this trans porn out of me, Lord. And then Monday night, they're back in there. Someone who's from the South, judging how everyone acts, I have my suspicions. Nothing wrong with femboys. I agree. I'm just wondering why the South pretends to hate them so much and then jerks off to them so much, more than any other place in the United States. Why is that happening? Can you guys explain that? I sure would love for you to explain that to me, because I'm a little confused. I thought that would be hardly anybody searching it down there, but for some reason, holy Lord, y'all love you some she-males down there. What's up with that? I mean, we love them out here too, but we're not living in contradiction of our beliefs down here. We're not speaking all day about how the trans agenda is destroying children and then joiking off to it at night. That's y'all down there. So you explain that to me down there? Please, Lord, forgive me for my feminine penis collection. Gay men. Thank you, cigarette. What's going on, y'all? All them Southerners that were talking shit, they're all real quiet now. Why'd y'all get quiet? Why'd y'all get quiet when them numbers started coming out? When them numbers started coming out and them search terms started coming out, why'd y'all get so quiet up in here? Oh, I guarantee you, if you looked at Charlie Kirk's fucking search history, tranny, chick with dick, she-male, femboy, that motherfucker was all into it. Guaranteed. 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 They love a ladyboy down there. What's up with that? Why you guys love a ladyboy down there? Why you guys love a she-male down there? Can you explain that to me? Because y'all be passing all these laws saying transgender people can't do this, can't do that. But for some reason, they can be on your computer screen at 2 a.m. when your family's asleep. What's that about? They're good enough to jerk off to, right? Interesting. I find that to be mighty interesting, personally. I find that to be mighty interesting, personally. Waxing your carrot. Hey, Vader, you got an answer for this? Because I want to ask Vader. Maybe Vader's a wise man. Vader, you know how the South hates trans people? Why do they search for trans porn 2 times for every 1 time everywhere else? Why is Texas searching tranny porn more than any other state in the nation? I wonder what that's about. I'm just trying to figure it out here, Vader, because I don't understand. It's because they repress it? That can't be it. They're straighter than a grizzly's dick down there. You see the cowboy hats? You see the 10-gallon? You see the cowboy boots? You see that 10-gallon hat? You see that big old belt buckle? Man, that's straighter than a laser right there. That's straight to the laser, Don Vader. What are you talking about? That can't be right. It must be, you know what it must be? Californians driving down into Texas and just searching tranny porn. That's what it has to be. It couldn't be that Texas is filled with people that are hypocrites. It couldn't be that. No, say. No, say. Damn. Because it can't be that. Mississippi, Missouri, Kentucky, Louisiana, all of them search trans porn more than any other place. Wonder what that's about. Could you tell me what that's about, Southerners? Boy, I sure would like to hear what that's about. Anybody tell me what that's about? How's what I'm doing hate? I'm pointing out hypocrisy. You guys hate trans people from your mouth, but when you're alone in your room, got the phone all cloistered up, what's on the screen while you're beating it? What's on the screen? We're going to keep talking about this too. Deeper in the closet than a yote in a hen house, I'll tell you what. That's true. That seems to be the truth. Oh, and I bet Charlie Kirk's, I bet his laptop was full of it. We ought to check that too, because that might be a clue in there. They ought to release that. What was he searching? What was he searching? I want to know what he was searching. Can you tell me? Because I think he was searching it. Louisiana loves some trans porn down there. Huh. As a Midwestern right-winger, I do get annoyed by other right-wingers' obsessions with transgender. Well, I think they just need to come on out of the closet. I think they just need to go like, I'm a big old cowboy and I like dick. I'm a big old cowboy. I won this here gold belt buckle roping a bull. There's a roping belt. And as soon as I done roped that bull, I fucked a man. Sucked his dick. Yes, sir. 10-gallon hat. Pushed it back. Yep. That's what I did. Ooh, ah. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on, baby. Oh, the weed is coming now. Weed gonna be here soon. And that's a good thing. The weed gonna be here soon. I don't care about your words, 'cause I like birds. Ba-doom, 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 boom, ba boom. If you're small and on a search, I've got a finger for you to perch on. I said, I'm a healthy boy. I smoke broccoli. I'll lie to you, but don't you lie to me. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. A super felony? Who doesn't love Andy Griffith? It's only one person I've ever seen with 34 felonies, never served a day in jail. Right? It's crazy. It's wild. You guys want to hear a badass rap song? Listen to DJ Quick, Trapped on the Tracks. Trapped on the tracks. Trapped on the tracks. I think that's from like 2020, 2015, 2020, something like that. Trapped on the tracks. Trapped on the tracks. Trapped on the tracks. Trapped on the tracks. Bouncing, dipping, riding, rolling up. Rope. Trapped on the tracks. Let me. I'm gonna put it on. Trapped on the tracks. Trapped. Trapped on the tracks. Trapped on the tracks. That it is. DJ Quick. Listen to that.
Trapped on the track, trapped on the track, trapped on the track, trapped on the track.
Hear the train horn?
Trapped on the track, trapped on the track, trapped on the track, trapped on the track, trapped on the track.
Head on collision, rev up the engine. Missing verbal vandalism, yes, most certainly. Quick to smash, sweet my will call this a crash derby. Don't worry, I come with it, rock tracks like Southern Pacific. No topic or specific, I'm just stretching out linguistics. When trains like conductors on deck, now who wanna hit it? See Carson in this bit. Compton in hit two, and we been drinking all day long, and ain't no telling what we do. Cause we roll up, and let my fam go pull up. Party out at CPC, and nigga, we don't need no hold up. Stop them boys and they all out here. Sonnies don't even come around here. Fake niggas don't even come close. Compton in this coast to coast. Breaking up on spruce. Pops and let me loose. Niggas out on these tracks, and ain't no telling what they gon' do. Alright, look. I see you, I'm standing all over you jokes. Yeah. And shout out to Migo, cause they can assist at the flow. What? Yeah.
Trapped on the track, trapped on the track, trapped on the
That song is just gangster. Ooh, that's a badass song right there. You guys ain't heard that song, huh? Bro, that train whistle beat, bro. Fuck. Fuck. If you listen to it like on actual speakers, it sounds like a train. Like I'll put that song on sometimes, and Amelia will look up. And she'll be like, "Oh, it's Trapped on the Tracks," because it goes from left to right. It goes, so cool. Train whistle's crazy, bro. Trapped on the Tracks. DJ Quick right there. I think DJ Academics is on that shit too. Compton out in Spruce, about to get me loose. That is a chicken. We got chickens all around. We don't have a flock, but our neighbor here has a flock, neighbor here has a flock. So we hear chickens all day. That chicken's laying an egg. That's the egg laying sound. Buck, 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 buck. I see Inglewood in this bitch. Compton in here too, and we've been drinking all day long, and ain't no telling what we'll do. Chickens enclosed. Yeah, they have a hutch. They have a roost or whatever they call it, a chicken coop, but they roam the yard, right? They come out of the chicken coop. Trapped on the Tracks. It's called Trapped on the Tracks by DJ Quick Cigarette. Trapped on the Tracks. Trapped on the Tracks. They do have a rooster. Yeah. A chicken song. A chicken. Oh, I got black chicken. Is it okay if a white person says the N-word while singing lyrics to a rap song? That's dependent, man. That depends. You got to read the room. You know what I mean? That depends. Like if you're out in public and people don't know who you are, you probably don't want to be doing that. If you're with friends and they know you're just appreciating the song, it's probably fine, right? But yeah, I wouldn't just do it, assuming it's chill, because a lot of times it ain't. Car Alarm by Too Many Zoos. Let's see. Car Alarm. Car Alarm. Pat's Soundhouse. Too Many Zoos. It's a baritone sax. And I got a cornet in there. That cornet is fire. Barry sax. Bump, 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 bump. Cornet is crazy. That's an alto sax. Alto sax. Got the berry underneath it with the cornet. Right. No, that's badass. Have you guys heard that new song? I gotta find it. Who is it? Whoa, fuck. I gotta find it. I gotta find it. Rapper. This shit is fucking crazy. Let me see. Videos. Where's it at? It's. Fuck. I'm not gonna be able to find it. I'll have to look on Twitter because I saw them on Twitter and I knew their fucking shit. I knew their name. Bump, 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 bump. That was a good. I like that, dude. You said you put a car alarm behind it. You could hear it. All right, let me find this. Womp, 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 womp. Oh, that's gonna be stuck in my head. Cigarette, you put that shit in my head, bro. Put it all the way in my head. Mm, 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 mm. Nope, nope, nope. Sorry, I gotta find this song because it is crazy. It goes hard. Goes super duper hard. Mm, 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 mm. I'm gonna have to find something else. God damn it. Yeah, there it is. I will find it. Oh, I will. You better believe it. Hello, baby. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to find this trans rap group. Here it is. Here it is. Let me see what they're called again.
I need Elon's body dropping. I need CNC in Congress. I need Luigi in my janitorial. Got a little street sweeper. Big fan of dad leaders. VIP meet and greet 'em. Sweet eeny money mo. How I treat my CEO like bird. But all I can see now is just the other day I was scrolling on my phone though, trying to cope with the notion that I'm culpable. Saw the trolley pop at the POTUS with a locomotive. Band together first, then focus on your locomotive. 756. Really, it's a low total. Come get in the mix. Get you out of total pole. Walking with a stick. Hits up from the stone's throw. Since you love big tech. Got the Ford. Get a 187 on a piggy if you want to make a difference. SpaceX ain't the only ones with a mission. My team got the rockets out and used to try to catch them all. Trying to decimate the deficit down to the very last decimal. Look, I don't know how to balance a budget, but I know how to take every last ounce of blood out of your stomach. I feel like Neo will play with me. I ain't the one that said I am the sun. Blinded by rage, got bell on the side of my gun. Defiant, denying, defunded. Fine with the timing, compliant. I'm not the bias. Go try me, I'm lighting them up. Say, give me the mic. I am live from the mud. What they may say, it's on the hook. What they can say, it's on the jump. Burn the system down, it's not a fire.
Am I wrong? Shit is fucking fire. Who is that? I gotta look. The Neighborhood Kids. It's called you can look them up. They're the Neighborhood Kids. That shit is crazy. They're talking some crazy shit in that song. I don't know if you could hear it. Talking about killing Elon, putting TNT in Congress, talking about the number of fascists that have been killed by anti-fascist movements in the 20th century, 756. It's a low total. Boom. Dum. Got a dope-ass fucking song, a beat to it, too.
Is that what the doctor ordered?
Yes, the doctor ordered this, and this is what I've been needing. I am the eye of the sun. Yeah, dude. Well, I'm chilling later. I'll listen to it. Thank you, baby. I sure do appreciate it.
Of course. Kicked myself and realized later that I had enough points for 40% off, so I didn't need to do the online order.
It's okay. Save them. Why did that Catch Me Outside? How about that chick get famous after the... She's a rapper. Anybody remember what her name is? I cannot. But she was like a little teenager when she went on Dr. Phil. Catch Me Outside, how about that? And then like she became a rapper. I have a question for you. Took my first random drug test the other day, Paul. I envy you getting to smoke that doobie so much. Yeah, that sucks. Oh yeah, Bad Baby. That's her name. Bad
You
Baby.
just got a drug test. You could probably...
Probably smoke it up. I wouldn't though. If they're randoms,
Yeah.
they could pull another one tomorrow. You'd be fucked.
Depends how many people you're working with.
Yeah. Yeah, Bad Baby's a trash musician. I don't know anything about her as a person. Graduate your drug court. Cool. You gonna get fucking lit or what? Is that a party? Catch Me Outside. How about that? She wanted to get A14 on a track, and even he said, nah. Yeah, I don't blame him. I wouldn't be on a track with her. She just... She was never going to be a serious artist. She was just trying to capitalize on her name and her infamy and all that. Never going to be a serious artist. Although, there was one song by Bad Baby I didn't hate. Let me just see if I can find it. But she had people on it. Let me see what we got. I Am the Eye of the Sun. Let's see. Bad BH. Bad Baby. What's her number one? Gucci Flip Flops with Lil Yachty. Yeah, this is not bad. The beat is good.
Gucci flip flops, fuck it, hit your bitch in my socks. This a big watch, diamonds dripping off with a clock. 2 to 6 out, winter time, drop.
Actually, I'm lying. This is whack. I must have been real stoned when I listened to that because I feel like I grooved to that song at one point. I ain't stoned enough. That's just whack. That shit was wiggity whack. My bad. I thought she had one good song. No, it's generic as fuck. Super generic. And her delivery is shit. Yeah, if I get high, that beat might be passable, but that shit was whack, bro. I'm sorry, that shit was whack. Maybe the future track? Let me see. There was one that I liked. Bad Baby. What's her top tracks? Mrs. Whitman? Gucci Flip Flops? Geeked Out? With Lil Baby? Let me see Geeked Out. Damn, this bitch got 139 million views? Listens to some of these?
Yeah, I hit a bitch cause I got nothing to lose. But it all cash, I got something to prove. And I'm just fucking with them, I got nothing to do. Running through these checks like the ones on my shoes. So don't get geeked up, bitch, like it beat up. Tell that how I'm moving in cause of Lisa. Don't get geeked up, bitch, like it beat up. Moving how I want it with my feet up. Yeah, my nails pink, but my honey's blue. Running
Nah. Garbage. Hot garbage. That delivery just don't hit for me. It's the same song. It's the same flow. She's a one-trick pony. Yeah, not good. But like low end to mid. Low mid. Whack. Whack as shit. She's acting hard, but I'm just not buying it. Yeah. When she rhymed geeked up with beat up, that's it for me. That's like a 12-year-old's rap. Don't get geeked up or you will get beat up. I was like, no, that's it. This shit's whack. Bro, here's how I feel about hip hop. If your lyrics gonna be repetitive and trash, which a lot of hip hop lyrics are, that beat better be fire. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that, like where lyrically you're not dealing with much, but the beat goes so hard that it doesn't matter. It becomes a vibe. But you can't have whack lyrics like that. You can't have whack vocals like that unless you're shining like a great beat. And these are like, I could tell these are industry beats that somebody couldn't do anything with and they just passed it to Bad Baby. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could have this beat. Are you prepared for the winter? Yeah, I mean, I got natural gas hooked up to the house. I got a pot-bellied stove down below. I got central heat in case it gets real cold. Otherwise, I mean, I got salt for the driveway in case it ices. That's about it. Outkast, best rappers ever. Well, I mean, you can make a case. I don't think they hold a candle to Slick Rick, but yeah, I recommend. Lovagram. I think I've heard this. Am I wrong? Let's see. Yeah, this is gonna get let's get my stream fucking restricted. God damn it, not thubbed her, dude. That's gangster. I like that. That voice is something else, bro. Ooh. No, we're not. Sigrat gets to shout out. I take recos from Sigrat. I don't take recos from the peanut gallery, bro. Trying to put Chamillionaire up here, bro? Nah. After we just heard that? Nah. Nah. Yeah. Amanita. You got to be careful with those. But if you prep them right, Amanita's good. No, don't worry about it, bro. I done did it now. It's cool. I ain't gonna get flagged. They'll just demonetize this stream. That's how it works. Oh, Lord, have. It's been 2 days since I smoked, like heavy. So I'm stoned. Oh, I'm higher than a kite right now, bro. I'm finna be stoned. Yeah, that's Mario's shroom, man, with the Amanita muscaria. You coming out of here, date, to join me?
He coming out. Hello, my peeps.
Oh shit, you're her peeps now.
Ooh.
Now, all right, you own them now. You're responsible. I didn't know they were your peeps.
I have a lot of peeps.
You do. You collect peeps.
I collect peeps.
Everywhere you go, you get peeps.
And not those chickadee ones that you eat at.
No, not the gross ones.
Because I don't like those.
I don't like those neither.
That's right. Huh? You don't
No,
like
I hate the peeps.
I can't stand the peeps.
And my ex-wife's mom used to get me peeps every year for Easter. Big ones.
Do you know now?
Because she knew I hated them.
Do you know now you can get them for every holiday?
Oh, I know. They got peeps for everything.
Shamrock peeps.
Shamrock peeps, Halloween peeps. Yeah. It's like peeps all year round.
Thank you, but no.
Nah, no peeps.
I'm good.
No peeps.
You know what my idea of a good s'more is?
What?
Piece of chocolate.
That's it? You don't get a s'more?
I don't like a graham cracker that well, and I don't like a marshmallow that well. Right?
I didn't inherit that.
Okay.
I like a s'more.
Let me tell you. And I showed the kids how to make one without a graham cracker.
Oh, yeah?
Chocolate.
With a marshmallow in the middle.
Roasted marshmallow. Get it good and roasted and just slap it. It's messy as all get out.
Oh, so is a graham cracker
The regular
s'more.
s'more one is messy. Right?
I do like graham crackers, though.
I'm not a fan of it.
Sometimes I'll get a few graham crackers and a glass of milk, and I'll just dip them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I'd rather have vanilla wafer.
I like Nilla wafers.
A little vanilla wafer.
But I like those in banana pudding.
Yes.
That's the only way I really like those.
I just made a banana pudding at home, and I told everybody. I said, my son, PJ, used to tell me, Mom, can you make the banana pudding but leave out the banana? I'm like, then it's just vanilla pudding and wafers, but yes, I will.
The ancients think the effects of mushrooms was... Yeah, they did. They thought mushrooms were like... I'm trying to think of the word. Like,
Medicinal?
no. We're talking about way back in the day. They thought mushrooms were like oracle drugs, where
What's that?
like a tribal shaman or like a holy man would take them, and then he would speak, right? And obviously he's tripping. So he says weird stuff, but people interpret it. So like a strange holy man thing.
And
Yeah.
is it because he acted weird when he took them?
Yeah. They were like a sacrament. They would bring these mushrooms to like a guy, and he'd eat a bunch of them, and then he'd sit there by the fire and just talk his crazy talk. Psilocybin soothsayers, yeah. I don't, dude, I'm a little afraid of peyote because of the puking. Like, you eat a peyote button, and then the first stage of it is you get real sweaty and you puke.
Oh, gosh.
And then after you've puked it up, then you trip balls. And I just don't want to do the puke part.
Oh, thank you.
But I would try it if not for that. And one of these days, I'm going to book an ayahuasca shaman. I'm going to have him walk me through it.
What?
Ayahuasca is it's a South American thing that they do. It's made with DMT, dimethyltryptamine, or whatever the fuck it is. And it's a really intense trip.
You better hope you get a good batch.
Well, that's why you do it at these, because they do treatment centers. It's not like you'll go. They do it for like mental health stuff.
Like a sweat tent?
Kinda. Yeah, they take you there, they put you on this stuff that just makes you go through it.
But there's been people dying in them.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
I'm thinking just the sweat tent.
Yeah, the sweat lodges and stuff, if you stay in there too long, you'll just die out. But they don't sweat you usually with the ayahuasca. But like what it'll do for me is, I don't do them very often. But when I do mushrooms, that's like a serotonin reset for my brain. And I just feel better the next week because I'm just, it helps with the depression. Some people microdose them, where they don't take enough to get high, but they take enough to get a little serotonin.
This is serotonin.
Yeah, no, it is. You're right. And I'm not a big, I don't know, I'm on enough mental health pills. I'm not looking for another one. I'm not looking for another like drug to put in me. I've got plenty. I got my prescriptions and I got my weed. That's the and my caffeine, I guess.
Ought to be good enough.
Probably a little too good. Should probably kick something. Well, the caffeine, I was telling Amelia yesterday, because I remember like about halfway through when we were just about to eat yesterday.
Yeah.
Me and Amelia went outside to smoke a cigarette, and I told her I'm just run down. It's the medication that I'm on. It just makes me groggy.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked her mom to make me a pot of coffee. Yeah. So I usually only have 1 cup, maybe 2 in the morning. I think I'm going to have to expand it out and have me an afternoon cup. Because...
You want to watch, because that'll start leading to, it can whack with your blood pressure.
Oh, I know, trust me. I mean, I was crazy, but when I worked at Starbucks, I drank so much caffeine. Because it was all free, you know what I mean? And you want to be hopped up to get through that day and keep your work going. But I had to back way off of the caffeine.
It's definitely a drug.
It is. Well, howdy there, sir.
You on to the red vines already? Okay.
Gonna meet your ma and pa. Are we ever gonna meet your sisters? Maybe.
Maybe. Never say never.
Never say never. I wouldn't think so though.
If you asked Mary Jo to like appear, as long as the boys could watch their mouths a little bit, I think she'd do it. I do.
Those boys, they were cussing at you, not at you, but
Not at
in
me.
front of you.
Yeah, but
They don't do well with that.
But you know what? I believe I heard one take the Lord's name in vain.
No, they're respectful.
I don't believe
They tried to be.
I don't believe I heard one of them. And that's truthfully the only part that bothers me. The rest is
No big deal.
Mm-mm.
Well, which sister kicked you? All of them kicked me. All of them hit me in the jewels. They all kneed me or kicked me in the jewels at one point.
Which sister kicked you?
Well, because that's what the fertility specialist guy.
Oh gosh.
Well, no, he told me, he was like, typically this is, when we see this, it's trauma to the testicles when they're forming. So when they're not full grown yet, you get trauma to them somehow, and it busts up your ability to make good sperm.
There ain't a boy alive, little boy alive, that ain't been hit there.
Do you think that average little boy took as many nut shots as I did?
I don't know. I don't recall them purposely.
Because they used mine like a speed bag, mama. Duck it, 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 duck it.
I would have put a stop to that.
No, yeah. You know what you put a stop to? One time, Mary Jo walked up to me, acting like she was being sweet. Oh, PJ, come here.
Young Frankenstein.
And went, oh, yeah. And I, out of reaction, slugged her in the stomach. I was like, oh. She went, ooh. You came running in.
You were grounded for
He hit
Tell
me.
me you were grounded for 2 years.
3.
Oh, yeah, I think I recall that. Tomorrow it'll be 5.
That was the only time I ever tagged one of them back. Only time. And I got bawled out for that.
schooled.
I got schooled. I got scolded.
Look, it worked. You didn't grow up to be a wife beater. You respect women.
I didn't grow up with sperm either.
That's fine. You didn't grow up to be a wife beater.
Well, that's true.
Better than to hit a girl.
Yeah, I don't do that. Well, I don't hit people.
Homie, don't play that.
I don't like hitting people in general. I'm not a hitter. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
You're not. You're a lover, not a... That's what Vivian says. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I'm a lubber.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I told her, I'm a lover, not a fighter. She thought I was saying lover.
Mama Paul sounds so wholesome. Bless her heart. Aw.
Aw. Thank you, honey.
Yeah. Well, I was the eldest, and so mom. The way Mama explained it is, you got to hold up the example if you're the eldest. It's just the way it is.
True.
Because what they're all looking up to you for how they're going to be treated. What you get away with, they assume they're going to get away. I understand it.
It's part of the responsibility.
I understand it. But fair's fair. No. I just think it's a funny story now. I got no salt left about. Well, maybe a little. Just a tad bit. But only because there was a girl, because it was the year, you remember, it was the summer after Sissa.
Okay.
After I went to Sissa,
I grounded you.
that's the summer I came back toking and smoking,
Yeah.
and you caught. And the rest of that summer, I was sweet on a girl up there, and she, I think, was sweet on me.
Up in Sissa?
A half Japanese girl.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. And she was rolling through town to meet up with us. And I begged on knees. I said, Mama, please. I will be grounded for the rest of my existence. Let me have one day, Mama. And you looked at me and you said, no. No. And I was like, please. Oh, there was another one too. You remember Tammy?
Yeah.
She called me one night.
I let Tammy spend the night at our home. So don't go there with me.
Thanks.
Yeah. Don't go there.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. Don't go there.
But I was grounded.
There's always a but.
Tammy calls me on the phone. My parents are out of town and I'm feeling kind of lonely here by myself. And I was like, oh, God, Mama. So I made something up. I was like, Mama, Tammy home alone. She afraid.
Yeah. Well,
I got to go at least make sure she okay, Mama, please.
you can thank me for that now. Because maybe the ball sack wasn't too damaged. And
Oh, it was.
Prevented.
Because I got to tell you, Mama,
Woo-hoo!
when it comes to being careful about that, your boy wasn't. I just wasn't.
So you can thank
So if
me
it
for
was
that.
gonna happen, it would have happened.
There'd be a little PJJ.
There'd be several of them
See? So
across about 4 different mamas.
So there.
Okay, Mark.
I'm just being honest.
Golly, I had no idea. Thank you, Lord, for the damaged ball sack.
Yeah. You know?
Golly.
This is like a farmer spread so much seed.
I personally think this is a cop-out. I don't want to be mean to Mama, but I think the firstborn gets the worst because most parents are learning to parent.
So true.
She agrees.
So true. There is not a book around that can teach you it.
You got to learn it.
The only way you're taught it is through your child.
So I was like a lab experiment.
Big time.
It was like a lab rat. Let's inject him with this and see what happens. All right, none of that.
And I had, besides your dad, I had no help with it. I had no help. I had no outside influence. Like,
Well, you did. You had friends. All them people that were always over at the house didn't help.
Okay, yeah. Not exactly.
Help keep the fridge empty.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, here's the thing. Looking back on it, though, those people, in their own way, helped raise me up.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were my aunts and my uncles. I loved when they were over. I loved, even when I was a baby, I loved sitting and listening to them
But
talk.
As far as getting like some good
Advice?
sound advice.
What about Barbara? No, never mind. That was I should have thought about that one.
Hey, she loved you to death, but she wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Wouldn't touch you.
I didn't feel that way about
No,
her.
you didn't, but she's deathly afraid of babies.
Oh.
She crushed me the day she came to see you, and I had to hand you to her.
That she wouldn't hold.
No,
Oh.
I don't do good with babies. We'll try again when he's about 14.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Well, I don't remember what age it was, but I remember how I did it. You guys, I always wanted to be a part of what you guys were doing. Not the drinking necessarily, but the talking and the laughing.
Oh yeah.
Because I would hear Jimmy, that big old roaring laugh, and I'd
Such a
hear,
good laugh,
oh my
right?
God, you couldn't help but laugh. I'd be in the other room and I'd hear him
Right.
cutting it up, and I would laugh.
He had such a good laugh.
Oh, and then
Heartfelt laugh.
Floyd too, his
Yeah.
like when he gets going, that laugh.
Yeah.
I would sit and listen. I mean, I wish I could sit with, because you guys wouldn't let me sit up to the bar
No.
until I came in one day and I'd seen something on a movie. I was
There
like,
you go.
I was like 6. I walked into the bar where you guys were sitting at Barbara's house, and I said, I saw Floyd, and I said, Floydy, baby, something like that, like an '80s business schmoozer or something. The whole room went, blah! They just started laughing.
Yeah.
Sit up to the bar with us,
They
PJ.
thought it was so cute.
And then after that day, though, I was allowed to sit with you guys. They'd ask me. Floyd would go, PJ, baby. I go, Floydy, baby. You know. And I worked that angle to get me them Playboys, too.
You remember the
I worked,
trip?
that was my angle to the Playboys.
You remember the trip that me and you, just me and you, went on with Barbara and Floyd to San Francisco?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun. We went and rode the cable cars.
Yeah.
Went in and out of different things.
What was that place that had the Thurber Burger?
That was Positively
Front Street in Santa
That was
Cruz.
the name of the place. Positively Front Street.
Ain't there no more.
No. It's oh, it's still got the parking lot.
They parceled it out. It's like 2 places now.
It's part of it is a I want to say part of it's like a rental shop for like certain
Yeah.
rental.
Because it's so close.
Oh,
Front Street's right the beach street.
about cried.
It sucks. Because remember the train?
The train.
Choo, 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 choo. You can watch the little train go around.
Famous for the Thurber burger.
That burger was killer.
Burger. And we
The
go there.
Thurber Burger.
I wonder if you looked it up, if they would talk about it like Positively Front Street, because that was the name of those little things.
I don't
On
know.
Front Street.
I don't know. I'm sure that people have blogged about it because it was a hopping joint.
It was hopping, man.
Well, because it's right off of front, right across from the boardwalk.
Yeah, right across from it.
So it's like
Well,
not
across and down.
yeah, across and
Yeah.
down a ways, but it's
Down a
just
ways.
you know it was you could walk.
So
COVID didn't.
So we thought of a funny story the other day that was funny to us.
Yeah.
About, do you remember when we stayed at the Carousel Motel? That truthfully is right across.
Carousel.
It's called the Carousel Motel. It was right straight.
Oh,
across
are you
from
talking about the cigarettes, where I had to trade my Will Clark rookie to Steve, which he still has, for a pack of
We're
smokes?
saving it for you.
I gave it back to you.
Oh yeah, he did give it back to you. So now
Did
Yeah,
you?
you've got it something.
that's
Okay,
on
I've
you.
got it.
He gave it back. So
It's-
that's on you.
then
I
it's-
gave it back to you for Christmas one year.
You might have, yeah. Will the Thrill Clark.
But do you remember the other? Well, do you remember the other part about that trip? Like, because you know that hotel room didn't have no way to cook or nothing, but it had a little balcony.
Yeah, we were out on the balcony
We took
with.
our little hibachi.
Yeah.
And we grilled up some burgers and hot
Didn't you get in
dogs.
trouble?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, there's no cooking up there." And I said, "Oh, we're almost done." But then people down on the street were like, "How much? How much are you selling burgers up there, man?" Remember that?
Yeah, it was cool.
That's cool.
You looked older last night. The moonlight ages, Paul. I think darkness, like you get deeper shadows. You get deeper shadows at night. It makes your eyes look a little more. I got really deep set eyes though. My eyes are way back in my head, and they're kind of like hooded, I guess is what they would call it, a hooded eye. I kind of look stoned all the time. My eyes, when I blow my eyes open,
Whoa.
I look weird. And so my eyes stay here most of the time. But yeah, I got deep set eyes. They're deep back in my skull. So I get the kind of like at night, especially I get the raccoon. I like it though. I got to tell you, the older I get, the more I like the way I look. Isn't that weird?
You're a handsome man.
I like the gray that's coming in on my beard.
It's very,
I like the gray streaks in the hair. I'm liking it.
Very complimentary.
And Dad's a silver fox, so I'm hoping I just go all white like him.
Oh man, I wished I would do that like my sister. My sister had the pure white hair.
Well, you got that red tint.
I know.
And that I do too, and it's probably going to keep
on.
me. I'm going to have, because you can see it here. I got that red
holding
beard.
On. You know, it's like,
Just let.
I got it. Go
Well,
on.
if you, I tell you what, Mama, looking at the difference between your braid and the top of your head, if you whack that off and let it roll, I'm just saying.
I know, but we did cut it. He cut that much off of my braid.
When?
A while back.
Well, I think it
was down to here.
Yeah.
And I still got all this. But it'll get there.
Eventually.
It'll get there. If it's meant to get, it'll get.
It'll get.
My mom never made it to the white.
Here, I'm going to mute this so y'all. Miss Marley. I love seeing you have a good time with your family so much. My family's very dysfunctional. I don't even live near them. Seeing this warms my heart. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Somehow, by hook or by crook, you know, my family ain't disowned me yet. I think it's just pure charm at this point. But no, I'm super happy with that. I reconciled with my dad a couple of years ago. Not reconciled. I don't know what you call it. Reunited, or we were estranged.
United and it
Feels so good. No, it's nice. It's nice to be able to talk to him because it's so weird, man. I guess when I was younger, dealing with him, there was such a power imbalance there, right? Your dad always looms large in your life. And for me, you know, when I cut him out of my life, he was just this big, giant grizzly bear of a thing in my life. And then it's like the next time that I saw him, I didn't see him for 7, almost 8 years. I didn't see him. The next time I saw him, he was little. Not little in a bad way, but small, old. And he was in a hospital bed, almost dead. And he was frail. And seeing him in that way changed the perspective that I had on him. Not that it put me as an equal to him. He's still my dad. He still looms large. But, you know, now that I'm older too, I see so many parallels between me and him and the way that we are. We're obsessive about certain things. We get our mind hooked on one thing and we can't think about nothing else. You know, all that stuff. We have mania. My dad will get in a mania and he just won't be able to stop, you know, and we both have that. Like, he was sitting across from me and I was telling him, because I've got an uncle that's got bipolar, and I was telling him, I was like, you know, that runs in the family. that tends to be heritable. And you know, I got an uncle, and he was like, well, that ain't me. And I told him, well, you know, you don't ever get a mania. And he was like, well, what's a mania? What, like, what's it like? And I was like, well, it's like you feel like unstoppable, and you feel like you don't got time to stop and do anything because you're just so focused, and you feel like you're going to change the whole world, but you don't end up getting nothing done because your brain is just so overstimulated. And he sat there quiet, and he was like, oh. I was like, yeah. I mean, you know, I think he's learned, you know, ways to cope with it. I'm not saying that it's tearing his life up, but I do think it's something, it's a trait that I share with him, that manic state. How did you tell your mom you became a podcaster and moved to Texas? That's a story.
I have to wait for her to come out again.
Oh no, I mean she'll remember it, but the way I remember it was I was dithering, and I did it all by myself too. I didn't reach out to nobody, talk to nobody. I knew I was gonna end my marriage and move away for a while, but I didn't know where and when. And so
Anybody want a couple of eggs?
I do not.
Fried
Want
or
eggs?
scrambled? Eggs? Want eggs?
I'll have an egg with
You
it.
want a fried egg?
I'll do a little.
Okay, fried?
Yeah, that
How you
works.
like it?
Just the way most
Okay,
people do it.
alright.
I'm not picky.
But anyway, manic state probably at the time. In fact, I know it was. I was so building myself up because it's so hard. If you've never been in a marriage, you don't know. And especially you never been through a divorce. Oh my God. It's not an easy thing to do. And so I had worked myself up. Like I was trying to set a date. And then I realized I'm already out of this marriage, but I'm still in it. And that's not fair to me, and that's not fair to her. And so I just stayed up all night freaking out. She slept through the whole thing. That night we had our niece on her side of the family staying with us. So she got up and took the niece back up the hill to where she lived and came back. And when she came back, I'd packed my bag, I'd put my computer in the car, and I told her, and that was ugly. And then I went straight to my parents' house, told them, and worried the crap out of them, and then left. You know what I mean? With no sleep. So I was 24 hours no sleep when I left their house. I was pulling in on 48 hours no sleep when I finally crashed. Not crashed, but like my body crashed in El Paso, Texas. Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I almost passed out in the middle of the road. But I pulled off and happened to land in a La Quinta Inn, and I slept that off. But yeah, that was wild, though. It was a wild way for my family to hear the news, but I had to go. I just knew I had to go. And I'd met a girl. That was another thing that was just like I felt, I never met this girl, but I'd met her online. And we were kind of getting flirty and stuff, and I just felt like I can't sit here and like plan this while that's going on. I just gotta go. And that's what I did. Some people get addicted to the mania. Oh yeah, it feels real good. I mean, like I said, when you're up, up, man. You feel like, fuck, I'm unstoppable. I'm heading straight for what I want. What is this? Something is going on with me. My fatigue is through the roof, and my body is achy as shit. Last time I felt like this, turned out I had COVID. So I'm thinking I should get to the doctor's office. It's going through our area like crazy at U of A. Taylor's seen it run through the students. I'd recommend going to the urgent care and get tested. Okay, so I think we're probably not meeting today. TJ feels like he's got COVID. Kind of shitty, but it's just going around again. There's an outbreak out this way too. Seattle is having a big COVID spike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of crappy. Kind of crappy. Yeah, just let them know there's a big outbreak out here. I think it's just nationwide right now. A little end of summer gift. He'll be fine. He doesn't know if he's got it yet, but he's not feeling good. What is that crawling on the fence behind you, Steve? You see him over there on the lattice. What is he?
One of them weird shaped shield beetles. Flat.
Yeah, the flat.
Stink real bad.
That's a stink bug.
Is it a stink bug?
Stink bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't seen one of that. I saw him crawling there, and I was like, what is
I seen
he?
him yesterday.
Oh, did you? He's got a little home over here, I guess, huh?
I guess.
Yeah, it's a stink bug for sure. Sacrificing chickens to the Orishas for TJ's help. Okay, cool. Yeah. You surprised that shit hasn't popped off after Kirk, or do you feel like it's yeah, no, I'll be happy if it doesn't, bro. I'll be happy if it doesn't. You know what I think took a lot of the wind out of the sails was them finding out that this dude was probably closer to a right winger than a crazy leftist. I think that took a lot of the wind out of the fight. And so maybe that fact, even though a lot of them are trying to deny it, I think that it has really sunk home. I mean, there's pictures of this kid with his dad with a MAGA hat on, and this kid sitting at a big 50 cal and hunting and all that type. I'm not saying that people on the left don't do those things. It's just people on the left usually ain't Trumpers, usually, you know what I mean? What was it like meeting TJ in person for the first time? It was like meeting like Bigfoot. Like I knew he was taller than me, but people that are taller than me are kind of rare. And so I knew he was taller, but I thought, you know, he's going to have an inch or two on me. And then I hugged him when I first met him. I came down out of a Motel 6 right there in West Hollywood where I was staying for the meetup. And he was waiting down there with Chelsea and Scotty, I think. And we'd interacted and become friends. We hadn't met. I walked up to him and he was like, yeah, bring it in, you know what I mean? And I hugged him and my face was right here on him. Like it's like he tucked me right in. And I was like, Jesus, he's a giant. He's a megalomaniacal giant. Possibly I will have to consult the bones and the snake skins. Roll them bones. D, you want to go inside? Is that what you want? Okay, I'll let you in. You can't be in and out. So you gotta pick. You pick inside, you go inside. Oh, I see why he wants to be inside. Because my mom's cooking. And he thinks a niblet is gonna drop, or a griblet. A niblet or a griblet, one of the two is what he's after. I couldn't tell you which. Niblet or a griblet, what do you think? We can't see in 4D hugs. That's fucking crazy. I bet he has massive hands too. His hands are not disproportionately large for his body. I will tell you that. He doesn't have Shaq hands. But his hand is bigger than mine. But he's not like Shaq, you know what I mean? Those big, giant, got them big old paws on him. We used to laugh our asses off back in the day because John Madden, he had to say that 3 times a game. And we'd be waiting for it. What's he going to say? Somebody would bat down a pass. Yeah, he just reached up there and got one of those big old paws on it. And we'd die. We'd die laughing because we were all waiting for it. 2 good questions. Oh, okay. Question number 1, go for it, Cigarette. I got answers. I got answers. You got questions. Questions. Questions is good. Bro finna die of lung disease, probably, bro. Unbelievable, right? Is virtual reality the future of media or not at all? Fuck if I know. I'm making a role in my new server that's pinging for smoke circles. And also I'm making a portion of it public. If you would like to host a link or invite your homies, feel free. Yeah, bro, I want to keep it chill. I don't want these mongrels. But if I get Phoebes in there. Phoebes is chill as fuck. I would get Ghoul in there. I will vouch for any of my mod team that wants to join. But it's just like they'll reach out to me one way or the other and let me know, and I'll get them. Yeah, I'll get them a thing. Yeah, I said I'll vouch for my mods. So Matt, you want to go? Because it's more of a chill thing, but he's making it a little more public. So, you know what I mean? I just don't vouch for all you apes. Oh yeah, well that's cool then. Yeah. Go ahead, post the link, bro. Post it up. You guys, you mod anything you guys are working on. You guys are always welcome to post your links up in here. That's one of the reasons I gave you the role. You know what I mean? I don't expect all you guys to be chasing retards in here, but I wanted you guys to be able to talk, even when it's in slow mode and all that. So yeah, there you go. Join Cigarette server. The Warrens, I think is what it's called. Yeah. It's a chill place. It's meant for smoking, watching movies, playing video games together and shit. Just hanging, bro. And I hang over there about the same amount of time I hang at the Dome, man. If the Dome ain't popping the way I want it to, or the conversation's not really interesting me, bro, me and Cigarette just pop over to his. Usually there's a chill group of 5 or 6 people hanging, you know what I mean? Yeah, the Dome's first official server, right. Started with your server. I remember that. But that's cool. That's cool. No, I love the Dome, man. I'm not a big Discord guy, too. You guys got to understand that. Like, I've told this to Don, but it's just like, he don't understand, I don't think, bro. Discord, I have Discord PTSD, bro. When I ran the DP Discord community, the drama, the bullshit, the backstabbing, the shit talking, the fucking crying and whining and bullshitting, bro, it almost killed me. So I was like, I use Discord if I wanted to like go on somebody's show or have them on ours. I was not chilling in a Discord. I made my own server and I kept it close and cloistered. But even then, bro, when Salt Rackets was popping the first time around, I was probably in Discord quite a bit, but only there. You know what I mean? And only with the crew that I knew. So for me to be all up in fucking Discord, you know, checking in daily and shit is wild for me. But it's actually kind of cool. One of the things about my lifestyle, and this is just the truth, I live like I'm a homebody is what some people would say. A hermit is what some other people would say. Shut in is what some people would say. I don't know. I just don't like having to leave the fucking house, bro. It's not because I'm scared of it. I do enjoy leaving the house, going on trips. Like yesterday, I drove for, what the fuck was it? Like 6 hours, something like that. Close to that, maybe 5 hours, up and back. And, you know, I like taking trips. But like, one of the things, like I said, so about my lifestyle is I don't have like a whole lot of like a huge peer group of friends that are close to me. I do have friends around here. It's not a ton. And so a lot of the people on Dome, they're like, some of them are fucking in their 20s, little skibbity bastards. But like, there's quite a few people on the Dome that are like my age, a couple that are older than me, people that are in their 30s and shit. I feel like I've got a little bit more common ground with, and that's neat. You know, I like that about it too. With regards to the Tao, have you ever consulted the I Ching? I have not. You know, I vibe with the Tao so. I'm talking about the Tao Te Ching, the Lao Tzu Tao Te Ching. I vibe with that so much that I feel like I don't want anything else. Like, I don't need anything else. I vibe with the Tao, and the Tao vibes with me. And so I feel like I've found, you know, I'm not really seeking after that, because when I started looking into Buddhism and then eventually Taoism, I was looking for something that was outside of rationality a little bit. I was looking for spirituality, like something that I could center my mind on that wasn't this hyper religious experience, to give a little bit of tinge of like self-imposed meaning to my meditation. And what I found was really helpful for me, not just meditative assistance, but like perspective shifting truth, or at least to me, you know. Yeah, AI. We're not long off, Hugs, from AI operating everything. I mean, but certainly military shit. You know what I mean? Like, human beings are fallible in ways that machines aren't. Machines are fallible, just not at the level and rate and consistency of human beings. Aren't Taoism and chaos magic sort of opposite ends of a spectrum? I don't know, but TJ told me that, because TJ said that they share etymology, and that the Tao Te Ching and chaos magic, as he practices it and understands it, they focus a lot on subconscious action, right? Or yeah, subconscious action. So not action, not for the sake of action, but action on impulse, action in the moment, rather than planning action in the future, right? But I don't know about the spectrum. You'd have to talk to TJ about that. He's the one that put me up on it. Yeah, so subconscious action, according to the Tao, is Wu Wei. And Wu Wei is mentioned in the Tao quite often, also in Buddhist texts. For real, not for play. I think I'm going to wrap this up here in a minute. I think it might have already happened, Hugs. See, I think the thing that people assume is that somebody's just going to make the singularity. I think it already happened. Like, I think we are on an inexorable track to the singularity, and I don't think there's going to be one moment they point at and go, haha, see, singularity. I think we're already in it, Hugs. That's the crazy shit. The way that technology is accelerating, it's building towards an apex. And so you can't say, I think the singularity is going to have a number of peaks. It's us making our way up the technological scale, and we're on the fucking upslope, bro. So we're there. We're living through it. No, he didn't make it up. No, it's an actual thing. I don't understand much about it, and I know it doesn't appeal to me. But, you know, I think it's cool that TJ found something that appeals to him. You know, I didn't have to look far. I knew I wanted something without hyper religiosity. I knew I wanted something without judgment and without pointing your finger at other people. I wanted something more universally based on a universal perspective and not a single human being and their sin perspective, right? And so I knew that I had to get out of Western religion, like completely. And started looking into Theravada, and then Zen Buddhism really appealed to me at first, but as I dug deeper, I started to see signs of that theism. Yeah, I mean, it's for him, Matt. You know what I mean? So what's true is what's true for you. I think the Scientologists are right about that. As much as I didn't wish it were so, as much as I wish there was some sort of font of universal truth. Maybe there is, but we ain't tapped that vein yet. You know what I mean? But yeah, Taoism doesn't work for a lot of people. A lot of people scoff when I say that I'm a Taoist, or they'll see me tea kettling or being angry or being hyped up, and they think, "Whoa, Paul says he's a Taoist." That's because their understanding of Buddhism, Taoism, and Eastern religion is like an Asian monk in an orange robe sitting in the lotus position with one hand like this. You know what I mean? Meditating. Like that's their pick. And if I'm not doing that, then well, he's just pretending to be this. You know what I mean? And they've never cracked the Tao, so they don't understand that Tao talks about anger. It talks about expression. It talks about work. It talks about all these things. And so, they could look into it and see that a Taoist doesn't have this prescriptive reality, right? That the Tao is something that you sip like a little pot of tea. It's not a religious text that you go to and it tells you, sit in this position and meditate. Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. It's not that. But that's what fucking a bunch of dunderheads think it is, right? Because they've never cracked the book. They've never looked into the history of the religion, right? And so they don't. They just look and they think in their mind like, Buddhist monk, and then they look at me being mad or whatever, and they go like, it's like, all right, bro, I gotta fucking silence this. It's fucking driving me nuts. Well, see, that was the thing for me. I knew that way wasn't my way. As much as my mom wants it to be, that way is not the way that I'm walking. You know what I mean? It's just I see too much division. I see too much hypocrisy. I talked at length with my brother-in-law and my sister about this, you know what I mean? And to their credit, they sat and heard me out. Because I didn't come to attack their religion. I came to tell them what keeps me away from it, right? Because, I felt like this real pressure and pull from my family, like, you got to come to church. And it's not like they were forcing me or anything, but it was just constantly coming up. And so I wanted to let them know why I don't. And so I went to their church and I watched my brother-in-law preach. And I came to their house afterwards, you know what I mean? We sat down for hours, we talked. And a lot of the talk was about religion. And I gave them my laundry list of complaints about Christianity. Yeah, there is an institutional Taoism, but that is like something that came so far after Lao Tzu and is not, the structure of it is not in the Tao Te Ching. It comes later, right? So you're absolutely right about that. Yeah. Well, the Tao, that's in the Tao Te Ching. Yeah, all paths lead to the Tao. The Tao supersedes. Was their church LGBTQ friendly? It's one of the things that came up. It's like, yes, in terms of they wouldn't... See, I asked questions that rode the line for them. I said, when I was at church, I looked around, you know what I mean? And I saw all the little couples that were in there. You guys got young people, and you got kids, and you got teenagers and you got old people like my parents, all, you know, and a lot of them are cuddled up with their family. And I said, man, it was heartwarming to see that. But I wonder if I was gay and I walked in with my boyfriend or my husband and we wanted to sit and worship and we were cuddled up on each other like my mom and Steve were, or like how I saw some of these other little old couples or these younger couples. If I walked in here and I had brought today my husband or my boyfriend, would I have been made to feel as welcome? And to their credit, they said, I don't know. And then, you know, one of the things I brought up was on your website, you know, one of the first things you find, and I'm not going to, you know, throw out the website or whatever. Sorry. It's just one of the first things you see is we believe in traditional marriage. We believe in sexual sin and all of this. And we believe that homosexuality is a sin as according to this, right? And, yeah. And so I brought that up. And once again, we never came to a resolution on it. But at least they know where I'm at. You know what I mean? My ability to spiritually seek, if that's what you want to call what I did a few years ago, was completely and utterly hampered by the negativity towards gay people that are lesbian people or bisexual people or trans people. I don't see that as warm or inviting when I go to the website of a church and the first thing I see is like, gays are bad, basically. It's like, okay. It's like there's so much poverty and deprivation in the world. How does gayness reach, that's one of the questions I asked them. And once again, I don't remember every answer, but they were satisfactory to me because they heard me out before they gave the answer. If I don't agree with the answer, that's okay. You know what I mean? You don't get the right to an answer that you agree with. You get a right, I think, to an answer when you're being candid with somebody, right? I think that needed to happen. My mom and I have had that conversation. My father and I have had that conversation, albeit in a very different way. My dad is very different about Christianity than anybody else in my family. And I kind of appreciate it, honestly. Very, very tolerant. I hope he stays that way. And very, very tolerant and very, very willing to sit down and have his views challenged without feeling like he's attacked. He actually loves it. He wants it. Me and him, when we sat here, when he was staying with me, we sat here, talk religion, but not in the same way me and my mom do. My mom, I love her, but the way she does it, she gives testimony. You know, she's spreading the gospel, spreading the good news. My dad doesn't come at me that way. He comes at me like, let's put our brains together and let's puzzle this out. You know, and I love that. But he and I are very much alike in that way, inclined to be the same type of inquisitive people. Always have to wear VR goggles. Oh man, no, there's gonna be a chip, bro. The thing that's gonna make VR big, and I think we're a ways away from it, but I might be wrong, Hugs, is they're gonna implant some shit in your brain that directly stimulates your visual cortex and your auditory fucking nerve and all of that shit. And you've seen it in movies. You're gonna click something on, you're gonna sit in a chair, whatever it is, and your shit's gonna engage, and your ass is gonna be somewhere else, right? And it's gonna be indistinguishable. That's going to be wild. It ain't going to be like Ready Player One where everybody's in an avatar and shit. I mean, maybe it will. What is the mark of the beast in the Bible? Bro, I wish my mom was out here. She would straight up tell you. But she's chilling in there. These chairs out here aren't the best for her. My mom's gonna be 70 next year, so she's an old lady, you know. Still full of piss and vinegar, though. My God, still out talks me, if you could believe it. Maybe Steven will wander out here. If he does, remind me to ask him that. Already merging with the machines, Hugs. People walking around among us with fucking metal spines, metal knees, metal elbows, fucking these articulate arms, you know, replacing their human arms. Here's what I understand about the mark of the beast. There's two ways that I've heard it put to me by Christians. One is there's a physical mark that you're going to get, that you're going to be compelled to get by the government. Everybody's going to have to get this thing tattooed on them, basically, or branded on them, or whatever. Literalists. And then there are metaphorical interpretations, because some interpretations of the Bible say that the mark will be upon your forehead. Well, what's in your forehead? Your mind, right? And so a lot of them say that the mark of the beast is a philosophical mark. It's like giving yourself over to this force that you might think is good, but you know is wrong in some way because you're a Christian, right? That's the mark. And you know, the Bible, I think, once again, my parents would be able to be way more informative than I on this topic, but that's what I remember. But I wonder. Let me see if one of them. might meet a little later, but I ain't heard from them yet. So we'll be all right. Interesting. So I just picked their brains. They're very comfortable in there. They don't want to come back out on the porch, but just pick their brains. Parents are always very humble about the Bible when I ask them probing questions, because I'm not trying to poke holes. And maybe I would have been in my 20s, but now I'm a little older and I really have a different perspective on religiosity when it comes to people. It's, it very much comforts them, and it's a basis for them, and I don't judge that. So I just asked them the mark of the beast, and they don't know. They said, one of the Bible studies that they heard of from their church worked their way through the whole Bible, and it took them almost 3 years of Bible study meetings to get through Revelations, because there's just so much there to theorize about, and there's so many different interpretations of it. And so they're always very humble, and they will say, I don't know, but they gave me some options, a credit card or some sort of national credit card where you can't buy or sell without it, because the Bible says that. It says you won't be able to do barter or trade without taking the mark. Microchip, and then I ran it by them, because it does say, the mark of the beast shall be upon your forehead. And so I said, what if that means in your mind, like you accept a philosophy? And they said, yeah, maybe that, but they're very humble when it comes to stuff. They're not going to just tell me. I would like to pick like somebody that's, like a pastor, like my brother-in-law, maybe. I like to pick his brain about it, just because I'm interested to see.
Well, here's the thing I'm wondering, how the preppers have, a bunch of food and stuff stowed away. What if they're not prepping for, the collapse of society, but they're prepping for when they can't buy or sell without taking the mark?
That too, yeah. Well, by that time, at least how I've heard it preached, the Antichrist comes. You're forced to take, not forced, but you're asked to take the mark, and you're kind of strongly forced, basically, to take the mark, unless you want to just live a subsistence life. And so yeah, you might actually be right, but the Bible says that is it really comes right before the fall. Jesus comes back pretty quick after the mark. And so at least that's how I've heard it told. You know what I mean? So it won't be long. But yeah, they'd probably be prepping for both, because some Christian people believe that there's years of tribulations for non-Christians here.
Well, do they think that they can't get to heaven if they take the mark?
Well, no, because that's the only unforgivable sin is to deny the Holy Spirit, right? Which is almost impossible to do, from what I've been, you know what I mean? You'd have to be seized upon by the Holy Spirit in such a way that it would be apparent to everybody, and you would have to fight it and say, no, I reject you. And so it's but there are different sects. There are sects of Christianity that believe in the rapture. That's when the faithful, the people that kept to Jesus and his teachings and God's teachings, are going to be taken up physically into heaven like Jesus. And then there are people that think that's metaphorical.
Well, there's some groups that don't like cremation or organ donation, because they feel like they have to have a complete physical body to rise up and go.
No, that is true, because that is that's very important, especially back in the day. Now, not so much. The theology but there are certain denominations of church to which that is very important. But
I'm just wondering if some of them think if you take the mark, it's the same thing where you can't rise up.
No. The way I've heard tell is a lot of Christians are going to take the mark, and that doesn't make them unforgivable. What it does ensure is that there will be tribulations here on earth for them what took the mark. But it's a forgivable sin. The only sin in the Bible that I know, like I said, was to deny that Holy Spirit when it comes on you like that. You've got to physically reject it and say no. And it's pretty hard to break that one, because at least from my
I
perspective.
mean, there are some like the Mormons, I think, or no, not the Mormons, the Jehovah's Witnesses, where they think like it's only like a few tens of thousands.
Well, Jehovah's Witnesses, I got to tell you, they're only nominally Christian. Like they are Christian to a point, but it's like some of the stuff they believe is wacky, wild, abiblical stuff. It's like they get a planet. You know what I mean? Some of this stuff is just too. It's its own thing. It's like I think a lot of churches would say like kind of a heretical spinoff of mainstream Christianity. Because I've talked to Jehovah's Witnesses about their theology, and they will come at you right like Christians, but then you get to a certain point and it goes off the tack. It just goes crazy.
Well, they have like the no blood transfusions.
Yeah, there's wild. Well, those are Christian Science.
No, it's Jehovah's too.
Jehovah's too, yeah. There's a lot of different beliefs out there, but I'm interested. I'd like to pick a pastor. You know what? Maybe I'll start a show called Pick a Pastor's Brain, where I let pastors call in every day and I pick their brain about Christianity. Because I like that idea. And I'd like to know what some of the interpretations are, because I'm certainly not studied in the Bible.
You know what I would recommend is get on a Grace to You website. It's the John MacArthur Church
Okay.
down south. He's a really good, or was a really good teacher. I'm sure he's got a study on it that you could probably get through fairly easily.
Yeah, I
You
like.
basically understand it, 'cause what it is
Sorry.
symbolization, prophecy.
Yeah.
Like 10 horns mean something, and I by no means know all the definitions.
Right. Well,
But
I like face-to-face combo. That's what I really want. Is like, because it's hard for me, because people make studies, and I get it. Bible studies can be helpful, and I've read some of that stuff. I've read interpretations of Revelations.
yeah,
So I've been through, the book is kind of a rough read if you just read it straight through and you stop. And I guess if you stop every time you got to look something up and you find 10 interpretations of it, that's got to boggle the mind, because what follows has to be dependent on what came. So I don't know. But I have read different people's interpretations, but I find that my questions are different than the questions they try and answer. It's like that sort of thing. Like the idea is the mark, something that, like, that's a question that because I think we're pretty close to a lot of that prescription now, in terms of like, if you decide you're not going to be a citizen of this country, you can't travel abroad, you can't get out in an airport or over a border, you can't get a loan, you're left to scrabble for your own life, and you have very few ways to barter and trade. And it might be, that people that are living that way are the ones that didn't take the mark. People that are living off grid and didn't sign up for the internet, didn't take the cell phone leap where all that's being tracked. I don't know. Is it possible that we're already there? But once again, the mark comes after the Antichrist. The Antichrist appears, right? And then the mark.
yeah.
And so that would have to mean that the Antichrist is here, which who is he, if that's the case?
Well, I've heard people say that based on what's happening in the Middle East and the strong ties going on, that they profess we are in the last days. But I don't know enough about it on my own to just be talking out my rear end.
Well, no, I came out because somebody had asked me about it, and I came in and asked you guys, and I relayed the best I could. And I said, my parents are always very humble with me. If they don't understand something, they're not going to pull something out of their butt. But, you did have a couple of little perspective there that I was able to at least give something to them.
Based
But
on what I see,
right.
I would say that it is going to be some sort of electronic currency or something that eventually, in order to, I mean, how else are you going to keep your identity safe unless you've got it like on you?
On you, yeah.
Or in you, or
That, you know what? This is not connected directly, but cyberpunk. You ever heard of that genre? It's like when tech, like cyber, when people, it's like a far future kind of sci-fi where people have implants and they're like half machine, half person. They're starting to replace parts of their body. They call that cyberpunk. And so I wonder if that is like, that's, I don't know. Dang it, I'm too stoned. What was I saying? I'm kidding. I can't remember though.
no,
We're-
you're talking about some sort of cyber mark or something you were getting to.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, yeah, maybe it comes in that form. Maybe it's like the slow replacement of our humanity by technology.
Well, they've already got injectable robots.
Well, and have you seen the arms they're replacing on people now?
Oh yeah,
Playing piano and stuff. It's,
robots playing
yeah.
soccer.
yeah. They're real good at it too. Look out, pro soccer players.
But and Bitcoin and all that electronic currency
Yeah.
that has no backing per se. I don't know what
It's all
backing it has.
well, it's all theoretical value. It's worth that because it's worth that.
Yeah,
And when it ain't worth that, then it's not worth that because it's just not worth that.
it's not worth that to me.
Right. It's
right
not
now.
it's not worth dog doo to me. I have never bought one. I've never gone into that crypto.
If all of a sudden the United States government said we're going to pay you in Bitcoin,
Yeah.
what choice do I have?
You don't. Well, you could say no thanks and you could move somewhere onto a commune and you know,
Start growing eggplant.
grow an eggplant and beans and you know whatever you get, whatever filled your belly, you know what I mean? I think
But
that's
see, that's how quick it happened, and we don't know the timeline or.
well,
you know?
and from what I remember too, because you know, you gave me a bunch of tapes when I was a teenager. You remember what that guy was?
Yeah, that was Kenneth Copeland.
Kenneth Copeland.
And come to find out, I don't know this for true fact. I've never researched it.
The Kenneth.
He
Wait a minute.
ended up being like one of those money grubbers.
Oh yeah, he's horrible. Is that Kenneth Copeland? Guys, is Ken Copeland the guy we just covered? Because Stephen, when I was a teenager, I was going out of my mind. And I knew Steve, you'd been like a chaplain in the army or something, right? Or something?
Oh, I was
No?
a medic in the army, but
Well, I knew you were a medic too, but I thought you had done, I can't remember.
nah,
But
there
I
was
went to
some-
you.
There was some religious stuff when I got saved back in the 80s.
Yeah,
80, yeah, before I went in service.
yeah.
It got me through a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ken Copeland. Oh my God, it is him.
Is it?
That guy is crazy. He is so screwed up.
He's dead now, though, ain't he?
No, he's still doing it.
Really?
Oh yeah, we covered him on like 2 shows ago
Wow.
when we were looking at you remember I told you we were looking at the preachers that get mad at their congregation. He was one of them,
Oh, wow.
but like in a weird way because he'll go and he'll babble in tongues at him, and then he just oh man, and then he's a grubber. He sells the miracle oil and the prayer cloth and the this and the that and he's picking old ladies' pockets. They got money in a cookie jar. I've heard them say that. Maybe not Ken Copeland, but you know those like prosperity gospel people?
Mhm.
I've heard them say stuff like, oh Lord, right now there's a little old lady and she's got $10 in a cookie jar.
I know what you're talking.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I see her right now. She got $10 in a cookie jar.
The littlest of little.
Yeah. And right now she's been thinking, I'm saving that for a rainy day. Well, let me tell you, God needs it today. It's like, does he? God needs $10? He could he created everything and he's light. You need it, you scumbag. This little old lady's cookie jar money.
See, and
No shame.
There is no scripture that.
Well, they will cherry pick. They'll be
I know
any though
exactly.
who believe in me, the splendors and benefits of all the world will be upon you. It's something out of scripture. And what that means is, Grandma, go to your cookie jar and send me all your money. It's just like, how do you get that?
And it's sad. It's very sad.
No, and that's the sad part of it. Those people, the prosperity gospel types, they go after people that are desperate. People that are sick, or they know somebody who's sick. People's marriages are falling apart and they just don't know who to turn to. And you're up 2 a.m. and you're scrolling through and there's Ken Copeland. Get my prayer cloth. And they're like, oh, I've tried everything else. I'll send him $50 for the holy spring water and dump it on my head, I guess. You know, and that's how he gets his grift, off of people that are so sad, and little old ladies.
Yeah.
They're worried after a grandbaby that is on drugs. And they'll even say that. Right now, there's a little old lady out there. She's worrying her little hands to the bone about a grandson. He's been in and out of prison. He's struggling with the drugs. And she's got $10 in a cookie jar. And I'm just like, shut up, you.
It's a sad truth, and you know what? It gives religion kind of a bad taste in some people's mouths.
One of the things, I don't know what book it's in, Steve, but one of the things I like is that when I cannot remember what book it's in, but I know it's biblical. When Jesus comes back, he's visiting the churches that wrought iniquity in his name first, not the sinners, not the non-believers. His first stop, when retribution time comes, he's going to knock on these mega churches and go, why didn't you walk in my footsteps like I told you to? Why are you not serving this community? What is this crystal palace that you've built for me? And why are there hungry people on the street, a corner over here? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
That's going to be his first order of business.
For judgment?
Yeah, when it comes time. When he comes back, he's going to visit that church, and he's going to ask every single one of the members of that church. And I'm not saying your church. I'm saying that these Kenneth Copeland churches.
Right.
Where
Ones
it's
that are using it for
right.
self-gain.
Right.
Yeah.
He called it iniquity. So that's the opposite of equalness. So those that separated people in my name. And I'll tell that to people that quote scripture at me in here, because I feel like, you know, they're not doing that, but it's something to think about. It's something to think about. Like, as I'll ask them, I was like, if Jesus was here, because it's, you know, what would Jesus do? You've heard that, right?
Yeah,
and that's a big thing, right? Christians are called to try. We all fall short, but we try to be as Jesus-like as possible.
That's
right?
the goal.
Right.
Well, the goal is to make sure that everybody is given the opportunity to accept this free gift.
Well, right, yeah, to spread the gospel.
And
but that's
the
what Jesus
process
that's
of
what
doing
Jesus
that,
did, though.
Redevelop this.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get that. And I'll ask them. I'll be like, if Jesus was here, let's say that Jesus didn't come back, or Jesus didn't come 2,000 years ago. He came now for the first time and into this world. Would he be sitting in somebody's chat on the internet going, probably not. Because you don't really help nobody by that. Because Jesus, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, he's out amongst the sinners, out amongst the sick and the least among us, and lifting them up. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they see me, that them being in my chat as being amongst the sinners. I guess I give them that credit.
Yeah, I mean,
They know I'm not Christian, so well maybe they don't know that, but some of them just come in with it, you know. What exactly is the difference between the Old and New Testament, and how heavily has the Bible been edited throughout the ages? Well, everything's been edited. Anytime you translate something from one thing to the next. But yeah, there have been different versions of the Bible, and there have been some more modern things, like the Council of Nicaea, and the reason they call it King James is because King James ordered a unified Bible. And so the King James Bible, it was a king, it was King James of, I think it was, was he, I guess he was an English king or a Welsh king, I don't know. But yeah, that's where the King James version of the Bible comes from, because he was trying to get a unified Bible that could be distributed across, you know what I mean? And so that's the one that a lot of people still use today. But there's all kinds of different versions that'll have, but if you look at them, there's parity between themes. Sometimes it's just the wording is different. And from my understanding, the original versions of the Bible were written in Aramaic, Egyptian, Greek, and those languages don't exactly map very closely onto English. And so you got to have some interpretation. But I've read some different versions, and I've seen, you know, I'm an atheist. I used to try and do this. I'm going to pick apart your religion stuff. Oh, look at this stanza and this stanza. They sound like they say something different if you look at this version and that version. Well, duh. You know, now I'm a little older, and I've had those conversations enough where people have explained it well enough to me where I go like, oh, well, you know, that makes sense. Yeah, New Testament was originally in Greek. The Old Testament, Egyptian and Aramaic, and I mean, it went through Latin before it was ever. I mean, there were centuries and centuries in Europe where Latin was functionally a dead language, to the point where the normal people couldn't read it and couldn't even speak it much anymore. But it was still the only way you could read a Bible. And in order to read a Bible, you had to know a monk that was willing to sit and transcribe the Bible for you and then give it to you on a bunch of parchment, because you couldn't, it just wasn't available to average people for a long time. And so the whole different versions of the Bible springs forth from that. It's like well, you've heard of the Gutenberg Bible? You ever heard of that? The first book ever printed. The first printing press book was the Bible.
really,
And the guy that invented it was a guy named Johannes Gutenberg.
a German.
A German.
Yeah.
And that was a revolution for the church, because now you've got to wait. It's no longer a monk sitting there. And you've seen the beautiful script they used to use?
Yeah.
It took them months to make a Bible. So getting one of them was like gold.
And in the Old Testament, that's the way Scripture was shared.
Yeah.
Handwritten scrolls were transported from large temple to large temple.
Yeah.
And the people would gather and listen to the high priest read it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the way the Catholic origin kind of started up.
True.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. They were the ones that oversaw that. Well, it's in Latin, and it's unholy to take it out of that, even though it wasn't originally in Latin. Their version of it is Latin, and if you try and translate it, that's unholy, because that's saying that the priest is no longer important. If you give the Bible to everybody and you translate it, you mongrelize it to the point. And you know, in a certain way, they had a point, because we're talking about pre-Catholicism, when it was a monk sitting there. Yeah. How easy would it be for a monk to go, not like that, like this? You know what I mean?
And there sounds way better.
Right. And so there was a need for some sort of council to come together and go like, look, what's the Bible and what isn't?
This is where faith in the Holy Spirit comes in.
Yeah.
Because it actually states in there that people who have not received the Holy Spirit will not be able to understand this book and its true meaning.
Right.
So there's some spiritual insight that happens in the process of accepting this free gift.
Right.
Pretty trippy.
It's interesting. Yeah. The masses could read scripture for the first time right after Gutenberg. And I don't even know if he realized it was just like, what's the first book I'm going to create with this new invention that I made that can mass press books? One page at a time. But it's like 10 seconds a page versus 6 months of, yeah, just an old guy like,
Not to mention the physical therapy.
yeah. And so, and he chose the Bible, being a Christian guy. But I don't even know if he had the foresight to know what a revolution it was going to cause for Christianity. Because for the first time in hundreds of, over, like probably close to 1,000 years of Christianity, average people could go down to the store and buy a Bible, get one from their priest, right? Touch one, read one.
Hitler burned all their literature.
Well, Hitler had an interesting relationship with the Catholic Church. There's infinite, like the Catholic Church, and people associate, a lot of Christians, honestly, they want to say Hitler wasn't a Christian. But the problem is that Hitler professed to be Catholic. He professed his support for the Catholic Church. So it's like, at some point when somebody professes with their mouth to be Christian, can you do the no true Scotsman thing, where it's like, well, no true Christian would have done that. He might have been a Christian and just wayward and off the map.
Yeah.
Right? So that's possible. He also could have just been an atheist that used that for political gain. Oh yeah, I'm a Christian.
I got to get this vote.
Right. Or I need the support. I need the money that flows. Think about how much money flows out of the Vatican. Everywhere. Big money pit. You know what's sad to me? So many beautiful works of art are locked up in the basement of that place, and not a single human being gets to see it. Ugh.
What's the point?
Just accumulation of
Maybe
wealth.
That's the backing for Bitcoin.
Maybe. Oh, it's all based. Yeah, we just don't know it. It's all based on that Vatican basement. Because they got crazy stuff down there, man. At that crazy time where, like, the forefront of science was church. Church people were the most educated people, and so the monks and the priests, they were the ones building the Galileo, right? He had that huge thing where he was a Christian, but he was saying, wait a minute, the Earth is not at the center of the solar system. That don't make no sense. We're going around the sun, and the church was like, no. So that was a big thing. They call it geocentrism. That was just part of, and it doesn't say that in the Bible.
No.
But there is some interpretation of the earth being the center. It's probably the philosophical center, or it's the center of this book. It's where we are, and it's a prescription to us. That's how I take it. But they take that back then, they interpreted that to mean like, well, the earth's at the middle of all this, and all these stars are rotating around us.
I mean, you got to give science a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
I don't think they quite got the how old is this rock thing right.
Probably not.
Which, can translate to some horrible conclusions.
Yeah, well, for sure. It's happened.
One of the ones that opened up my eyes was a documentary that they did, and they used the eruption at Mount St. Helens.
Yeah.
To prove that a large canyon could be made in an instant.
Well, I mean, yeah, that because there was glacial melt, because so much heat melted the that was the most deadly thing about St. Helens. Hardly nobody died in that explosion because it's so remote, but people that lived near the base of that mountain died in the monster mudslide that happened, and it created a big giant gully. There's another one in South America where there was another huge mudslide that happened, and it carved it where there was a town, now there's a gulch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Now, I don't know if that means that because I know where we're going with this. The Grand Canyon and a lot of the other features, do they fit the idea of the flood?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I can't say for sure that I know that. I do know what science says about it. Science says it just takes millions upon millions of years for a river to carve its way down through the layers, and you can see evidence of that in the strata. You find these animals here and these animals here, and I get it. So I kind of go with them. I just don't see how that contradicts the Bible.
Well, it doesn't contradict.
Yeah.
I think science is kind of trying to debunk
Yeah.
the possibility of a complete flood.
Maybe, or maybe this. Let's think about this for a second, because I heard a Christian guy, and he blew my mind with this. So I was talking to him. I was like, "There's this discrepancy in the Bible where it's like you trace this timeline, so this is how old everything has to be." And I have trouble because I feel like Christians, they start with that conclusion and they work backwards from it. And science is out here going like, well, let's test that. No, that don't really fit here. Maybe it fits here, but not here. So what does fit? Oh, this fits, right? And he listened to me, very quiet, and he was cool. He was an older guy, dude I met at Starbucks, and he was a Christian dude. And he loved sitting with me on my break. And so I picked his brain about it one day for a couple of days in a row. And he sat and he just listened to me rant and rave about everything that was wrong about it. And he goes, well, let me tell you, there's no discrepancy in the Bible with what you think is true. And I was like, well, no, that's not true. I've heard Christians tell me. He's like, oh, well, listen, you're talking to me. I'm a Christian, but I'm not saying that they're wrong. But here's how I interpret it. Here's my view from my church. I don't know what it was. It was not Catholic. He was evangelical of some stripe. Mm-hmm. He said, what is God? And I said, I did my best. I was like, an omnipotent being, knows everything, can do anything, exists apart from reality because he created it. But because he created it, because he can, he's also everything here, right? I said, yeah. He said, yes, that's close enough. That's good. I agree. Do you believe that a being like that, a day to him, is 24 hours to me and you?
Absolutely not.
And I was like, well, no. And he said, well, the Bible says 7 days. Science says 7 billion years. To us, from our perspective, because our lifespan is, for most of human existence, 30, 40 was about what people lived to, and then from our perspective, that's a long time. But from the perspective of a being that exists outside of time, because he created it, 7 days might be 7 billion years. 1 billion per day. And then on the 7th, he rested, because it's 6 billion. On the 7th day, he rested.
Yeah.
And there you go. And now we're here in this time. From our perspective, how could you ever see through the eyes of a being like God?
See, you've also got yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I'm not saying that's right. That was just a perspective that blew my mind at a time where I was way more antagonistic.
Yeah.
And it made me stop and go like, huh.
And it makes you run into a conflict of time. The Bible does specifically say 7 days.
Yeah.
And he talks about the sun rising and setting.
Sure.
So it's specific.
Sure.
Which means it's true.
Well, sure.
So
from our perspective.
From my perspective,
right.
Anyway.
Well, from
based on my faith.
Well, yeah. Well, but ours from a human perspective, looking up the chain at a being, the mind of God, right? We can't know it.
No.
And the plan of God, we can't know it. Nope. So he said, write down a day, because these people aren't going to understand all them zeros yet. Serious.
Yeah, no.
Could it be?
Could be.
Right. And so maybe that old man was right. Maybe there is no conflict between, maybe the deeper we look, the more we find the touch of that.
I think the ultimate discovery
Hmm.
is going to be, doesn't really even matter.
It doesn't.
We should have been treating each other with love and respect and not be trying to cut somebody's throat.
Well, yeah, and that's,
And and without the deception or curiosity, however you want to call it, of the fall of man by eating of the forbidden tree,
yeah.
it wouldn't have been a call for nothing. But that's impossible.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like God, right? This is another thing I picked that old man's brain about. I was like, well, God, how does God judge Adam and Eve when he knew what they were going to do? He put that serpent in the garden. He put the tree in there. He knew he made Eve from Adam's rib, and he knew she was going to wander through the forest of her own accord. How did he not? Why would he judge them for that? Right? And his answer to that was Adam and Eve is not, they're not necessarily one person. Adam and Eve is us. We're all, and when I say we, I mean our ancestors.
Yeah.
We're all given the opportunity to live in a paradise. And we walked away from it, and now look what we live in. Now, there's still places here that you would call paradise. I mean, look at me.
And the only way to redeem yourself from it
Yeah.
is to accept the free gift.
Right. Well, accept the blood of Jesus Christ.
So regardless of what he already knew happened,
Yeah.
he still had to create the solution.
Well, one of the things too, he told me, he was like, God made us in his image after the Lucifer and his lieutenants rebelled. And he had created those angels without the spark that he breathed into the nostrils of Adam. Those angels were servants. They were meant to be glorious and beautiful representations of God's love. But there was a seed of rebellion, and he made man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made, so I got that wrong. That's what made Lucifer go like, wait a minute. Why do you love that so much? That fallen
Okay. I hadn't heard that.
And so Lucifer then rebels against God and is cast down to the pit, right, for his transgression, along with the other angels that joined him and rebelled, cast to the pit. And now he rules, better to rule in hell than to serve in heaven. You've ever heard that?
I have heard that.
So that's an interesting perspective on the garden, because from what Kenneth Copeland's interpretation, because he went through the whole Bible. That's why I liked him. You had a stack of tapes. You're like, here, man. And I would listen to that at night, and I'd fall asleep, and I'd go back to where I fell asleep, and I'd listen to 1 or 2 hours of it. And I got through the whole stinking Bible with Kenneth Copeland. And one of the things he said, he would just say the serpent is Satan. The serpent is Lucifer. And so God didn't put him there. God cast him to earth for his transgression. And he showed up in the garden, right? So God didn't necessarily put him there. Now, Kenneth didn't talk about this part, but it's like, did God know that was going to happen? Sure. He had to. But
Still had to come up with a solution.
Well, for him,
because it's got to be choice.
Right. Well, that's what I think, that because if he had kept Adam in the garden, right, and never put that tree there, a lot of people, I used to look at it, it's cruel. You create a paradise, you create one stupid rule, and if they mess up and forget it, they're screwed. But I think that the paradigm is he was creating something different from the angels. He was creating something in his image, something that had discernment and could make these choices that the angels weren't embodied to make. And so he created the tapestry that he let the story unfold, if you take it literally, unfold how it did, because that's how you get man to the point where he has a choice in his life and he has to choose right. He has to choose to be good. And that was what the tree was called. Do you remember what the tree was called? The tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah, because there was also another tree, the tree of life.
Tree of life, yeah. And they were allowed to freely eat from that one. But the tree of knowledge of, because Adam was immortal in the garden, functionally.
Yeah.
And so was Eve. And that was because of the tree of life. But the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that's like knowing how to discern. Well, that's what caused him to close the garden and close us off from the tree of life. But he always intended to make us mortal, because he sent his son all those years later.
That's why there has to be bloodshed for sin.
Right.
Is because God had to slaughter
original sin. Yeah. Well, they had to slaughter an animal to appease God until Jesus.
God had to slaughter an animal to restore the communication
and
the embarrassment, to give them cover. That fig leaf stuff.
Yeah.
They were just hiding in some bushes.
Right.
They used to walk and talk with God all the time.
Right.
Until they ate of that.
Right.
And then they're like,
well, they were shamed because they knew sin now. They knew that it was right or wrong to look at this or to be that way. Well, the choice to disobey. The ability, because that's at least that's the old man. Because I used to pick him on creation. I used to pick him on Adam and Eve. I used to pick him on Noah's Ark. I used to pick him on, just different stories that I had pulled from the Bible that I was like. And he always had, I didn't think it was slick, though. Sometimes I feel like people try and play word games with it. I've just met people that way. He didn't seem slick. He would sit and listen to everything I had to say, and he wouldn't say a word. And you know me, I'll just. And then when I was done, he would just answer. It wasn't like he was hunting, trying to make it fit.
Sometimes it takes me, and of course I've got. Who knows what kind of shape my brain is in after all the stuff I've done to it.
I think you're still sharp. I think you're sharper than the average bear still.
I don't remember things well. Details.
Me neither, man. I can't figure out why. No,
yeah, there's consequences to everything.
Oh yeah. So, no, my memory ain't great either. Amelia will tell you, like, time for me. I'll say a couple years ago, and she'll be like, "Babe, that was 8 years ago, or 10 years ago now." And I was like, or then I'll say, like, 10 years ago, we were trying to figure something out, and she'll be like, "We haven't even known each other 10 years." So sometimes my memory is like
big gaps in it.
Sometimes. Oh boy, let me see. Let me see what's going on. I'm just keeping up on the.
Yeah, is he having trouble breathing, or
no,
no.
The way he described it was, he's just run down. It's like I just for a couple of days have just my energy level is like 0, and my body is just achy, and I just feel like I want to be in bed, and that could be a number of things. Honestly, that could. But COVID, that is one of the symptoms of COVID. It just runs you down all the way into the ground.
What you got to do is make sure that it doesn't turn into some
pneumonia.
Respiratory thing.
Pneumonia.
Yeah.
Which that's why, me and Scotty were both telling him, go get tested. So he just got back. He said not COVID. So he doesn't have COVID.
Good.
But he's getting blood work done today and blah, blah, blah.
That'll put him at ease just knowing that.
Well, yeah, because that can be rough.
Yeah, RSVP,
or
whatever they call it.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah, now that he sees I got this, vanishes.
That's how I always feel about them. Because I dropped about 6 of them the day you guys showed up. And I feel like they done. Oh, you know
Horrible
what?
shot.
Use your sights. The sights on that thing, you can smack them from so. You don't even got to get right up on them. If you sight it, it's kind of weird to sight it like a rifle. Kind of hold it with your elbow out, like you wouldn't, and use them
What,
iron
the camera
sights.
flipped around or something? You just
No,
hit it.
no, I'm
People pick up one leg.
no, I'm serious. You go against the rifle training and you cock that elbow out and you get it in them sights because it don't got no kick. It's not gonna bust your nose. I put my nose right up against the butt, look down one eye, peeping down them sights, bro. I could hit one on that bed from here because
Really?
it sprays out. It's like pellets. It's
Yeah.
almost better from farther away, but only like medium distance, you know. But yeah. You could nail one from far, but you got to iron sight it or plastic sight it, you know, polyurethane sight it.
I got a little taste of it, I guess, but I ain't seen it. You want me to put the safety on? I don't want to hurt you.
Always. Trigger discipline, okay? No, I'm kidding. You got to get you one of these, though. They're so much fun, Steve. When you get it down, you'll be chilling out on your back porch on a nice warm day. Just, bro, when I lived in Madeira and I got my first one, I wore one completely out.
Yeah.
I bought one in Madeira and I used it so much by the time we got to Fresno a couple of years, it was dead. I had to get this one.
I think I'd have more fun with the Zapper tennis racket.
I'm telling you, I had one of those and they were out and I would wave it and every once in a while I'd get one or two, but they were like 90. And I was like, I wish I had something I could take the fight to them where they think I can't get them. And I looked into it and I was like, this is bull. I got it.
Wow.
Bro, my whole porch at that place at one point was full of them. I dropped so many. And I swear, they learned at some point that porch ain't for us. I used to just leave them.
It was like a little warning to an Indian burial ground.
One time on stream, too, I popped a fly, and then I looked and I saw a jumping spider. I went and got the fly, deader than a doornail, put it down. That jumping spider started sucking on that fly, and I was like, I bet it tasted extra good because I salted it. He was like, I ain't never had one this juicy.
Hanging around.
I knew you'd get a kick out of that. Oh, God. Got a few memes for Tuesday. Be careful with your phone. They are expensive and delicate. Not this one, man. Have you ever heard of Gorilla Glass Invictus? You know how many times I've bumble fucked this phone? Fumble ducked this phone. I want you to know. Tons. Still works just as good as the day I got it. That's that Gorilla Glass Invictus. I think the iPhone, what is the new one now, 16? It has an even better Gorilla Glass. But I don't have one of those. There we go. A succulent French meal. A succulent Chinese meal.